doesn't mean anything, and I'll still shit the bed, you know, and just like choke it out. So to be on that stage, I mean, you got to get used to it, right? Every time a team comes to a major and they're like bringing new players, like LGD at Lima, for example, usually they tend to underperform and they have to like get used to it. Or sometimes you're like OG Thompson, whatever, I don't know. Yeah, it affects everyone in different ways.
Yeah. If you've never participated in esports yourself, you know, you kind of, before these big matches, you get those butterflies in your chest, and I think that means, you know, you really care, and it's a lot of fun.
I did talk to one of the players about, because I get nervous before doing panel stuff, and they were like, you still get nervous? And I was like, well, don't you get nervous playing Dota? And they were like, yeah, it's a fair point. Like, even though it's something you've done before, you still get nervous about it. It's human nature, isn't it? Stormer, when you're playing, how do you overcome nerves? Or is it just as soon as you sit down?
So actually, that's pretty cool. I got a pretty good answer to this one, I think. So first of all, to round up what Peter said, I think running up on stage is probably one of the best feelings ever. Like, you got this nice music, you got the crowd, you got everything. You're sitting in front of your desk, and you're just, I don't know, in that moment you just want to play and enjoy yourself, right? But actually, one time, so one of my biggest idols in Dota has always been Dendi, Navi Dendi. Shout out to him. He's one of the greatest players, I think, who ever existed. Big shout out, Dendi. So one time, I texted Dendi, and I was in an official game, and he said, hey, how do you stop being nervous? And I was like, my friend, just take the first last hit, and then you're gonna do fine. And since then, it's somehow worked out. So
unless you miss the first one. And
if you miss the first one, then you're not fine.
You get nervous.
No,
yeah.
but he was saying being nervous is totally normal. I've played so many years of Dota, I'm still getting nervous. So it's nice to have even such a big idol like that, like saying something like that.
It's nice to have a little mental thing to sort of go, that's just all I have to do.
In that moment, I was just impressed that a person like Dandy can still be nervous after so many years of competition.
Yeah, crazy.
Draft is on.
Indeed, and we've seen Kotal and Medusa banned, and Doom, and then what might be next here? What are we thinking?
You can hear some small voice lines in the back.
We can hear some voice lines.
Honestly,
I heard
I'm
Purge.
really impressed. Honestly, I'm really impressed. They're spamming voice lines in the draft. That's how you know that they're all in zone, you know.
They're serious.
Looking good.
3, 4, 5, 6,
That's
7,
9.
8. That is 9.
Let's go.
That is 9 Pandas. Well done.
Impressive.
I think Liquid will ban Alchemist. I don't think they want 9Pandas to get their hand on that hero.
Yeah, so 9Pandas as first pick. I think that's pretty good for them, honestly. I think Liquid has been looking at as an insanely strong first pick game in the last years, because I think they did not lose with Alchemist, they did not lose with Beastmaster, and they never got Medusa. So their first pick looks insanely strong, but things have switched up. As you said, Alchemist being banned out for 9Pandas this year is just too prominent. What is interesting about this right here, what we didn't point out, is that Pandas' first pick, but they banned Medusa themselves. So they were not interested in taking it and also not giving it.
It's a big draft disadvantage for them. Many teams would just take that first pick Dusa and use it, as we've seen it, you know, to be so OP. But they actually taking a book out of Team Liquid's book, and I'm glad they did this. They're not letting Zai play Doom or Beastmaster, which I think is really important for this series. Zai has just been too comfortable and too successful as heroes this tournament.
So they trade offlaners, they get like Underlord +1, do you think?
Yeah, but Underlord is kind of, I mean, he's a great offlaner. He's really good. I mean, they probably will take it.
They're both really good, right? But I love this.
What's alternatives?
Yeah, if they don't take the offlaner right now, then it's probably going to get banned second phase, and they got to go to that next tier of offlaners.
Right.
They are taking the Monkey King. This is a hero that has been a bit overlooked, I think, in this meta. I think he's looking insanely strong because especially all the offlaners are kind of countered by it. Of course, Doom is not in this game right here, Underlord as well. But I think Monkey King carry is looking insanely good this patch. Even against, I think, Beastmaster, it can look really strong. I'm not the biggest expert on the matchup, but we saw yesterday how Monkey King also smashed Beastmaster so freaking fast. So I like this opening, even though the Oracle is very interesting. Just Insania playing on his comfort, I guess, or having some ideas. What do you think?
I think Boxy played it as well. They're kind of flexing it between both supports, but the overall idea is that they have been leaning towards having one support that will make sure that Mickey has a perfect game. Like, whether it's the Silencer, whether it's the Lich, whether it's the Oracle, it's like, we want to make him have a comfortable time and be able to take these fights, because they get Mickey very involved early nowadays in this patch.
Chen, I love this.
This is some Zeus stuff going on here. Beast and Chen, huh?
It's these teams playing to their comforts. I think once Liquid kind of figured out what support heroes worked best for their duo, it was about, you know, halfway through the tournament, they looked like a different team. You know, originally we thought, oh, Chen, Ench, Crystal Maiden, these are going to be Wisp, right? These are going to be the popular heroes. But now we see Liquid going for Oracle, Techies, Caudle, and what was the other one? Lich.
Lich, yeah.
Right? So they've kind of switched up their pool to fit their playstyle, and I think that was a great adaptation. And 9Pandas is the same way. They're playing to their teammates' strengths. And Roger on this Chen or Enchantress has looked, he's the best Chen or Enchantress at the tournament.
I think he's looking really strong. He's a Grandmaster Chen. You could just see the smiles on his face. Like, he just wants to play this hero. He's getting the 8th pick, which means like the last pick in the first stage for this team, which is like a super strong, important pick, and he just takes it. Give me Chen. You know,
Get those skelly boys marching again.
Yeah.
Oracle doesn't deal well with Chen. It's a lot of stuff, and it's good sustain.
This hero, it can scale really well out of a 5 position, honestly. It gets all these auras up and gives you so much tankability for your team. So, can go quite crazy.
Is that the married couple, or?
Congratulations.
That's not the, I guess, yeah, just married, not just engaged, huh? Lots of love in the crowd.
Herald is also a human.
Eh.
Well,
Did you just say well?
I said, well, I played with quite a few heralds, and
Are you a herald?
no, I'm not a herald.
Oh,
Well, maybe with recalibration I am.
If you watch his gameplay, his badge doesn't represent his game.
Oh, bless you, sheep.
Yeah, you're worse.
Oh, thank you, sheep.
Thank you.
Okay, so it's important to note that Liquid will have the pick out of the draft. There's no longer an Underlord for them, and then they banned their own Storm Spirit.
Yeah.
Popular heroes still in the pool, or I'm looking at these mids, the Void Spirit, the Ember Spirit.
Yeah, exactly. That's what also
Pangolier potentially as well is quite good against summons.
Yeah, yeah. These heroes are also what I'm looking at. At some point, they can run out of damage against the Chen, but once again, they had huge success with it, so I think they are not afraid to pick it. Also, they got the pick coming into the stage, and they usually love to pair up all these Spirit heroes with some aggressive support. And what they did run was, for example, the Mirana on Boxy. So I can see them, for example, now picking a Mirana in the beginning, seeing what the enemies will double pick, and then just take a casual Spirit hero or something like that for Nisha.
You guys were talking about the fact that if they don't pick this offlaner Underlord in the first phase, it's going to get banned out. Now, 9Pandas is just banning out offlaners.
All of Zai's heroes.
This is going to narrow Zai's selection down a lot, isn't it? So what choices does he have left? He has to think about Beastmaster and Chen.
This
what
was
kind of offlane
a direction I thought they would go in, is get rid of these early offlaners and make sure that Zai doesn't play that Beast and Doom. And because Liquid didn't take the Underlord, you know, for exactly what you mentioned, now it's gone. Darkseer's gone too. The other heroes he played were Dragon Knight. He played a Necrophos game and he played a Magnus game, but I would argue those were some of his weakest performances this tournament.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely some just S-tier offlane heroes that seem to be really prominent in this patch, like the Doom, like the Beastmaster, Underlord, Darkseer. So I agree. I love the drafting approach in that regard about the offlaners. I think this is like one of the most critical pools in the game. In general, I still love the Beastmaster first pick. And of course, Team Liquid has to. They will just respond to what 9Pandas is going to pick, because 9Pandas has to do the blind pick in the coming stage. They have to either blind pick their carry or their mid lane. There's no flexing around or anything. You know the Beastmaster goes to the off lane. So Liquid has the little bit more relaxed approach. Spec banning Tinker and taking TV. Okay. This means that the Monkey King will be position 4, obviously, or on Nisha. We have seen it on Nisha before. So still some flexibility. TV is looking like an insanely strong hero this meta as well, I feel like.
Would love for Pandas to pick up that Kiyotaka puck right now. Not any disables really on Team Liquid so far, and one of his comfort heroes. He, you know, can scale well into the late game and provide like good damage even for Terrorblade. But grabbing that PL, Ramses, I think he had an interview where he said this hero is just very just strong this patch and one of his favorite heroes. Yeah,
it's looking good. I think carry to carry matchup. It's like the S tier carry matchup to TV. Like these illusions, they just overwhelm Terrorblade. You don't have much to do against it. You cannot figure out which one is the real one, and PL just hard counters TV. But that being said, they still have 2 heroes to pick on Liquid. They can take 2 cores who can deal with illusions well. Like for example, an Ember, a Pangolier is also in the pool. So it is a bit, I would say, cocky as well to just pick it right here. He doesn't know what he lanes against.
Yeah, I agree.
It's going with the Chen, so everything's revealed, and Techies, another Antara special. He loves this hero. I think he's a Grandmaster on this one too.
These are also Beastmaster and Techies, 2 heroes that Liquid have enjoyed playing as well. So picking them for your own team, but also denying them the enemy. Pretty strong draft from 9Pandas so far, you think?
They're fully sticking to their comfort. They got a Grandmaster Chen, they got a Grandmaster Techies, they got Ramses, who apparently said this hero is super freaking good.
I'm not sure about the PL.
Yeah, the PL.
That's a question mark for me.
Yeah, that one is a bit like, once again, a little bit cocky.
Now Zai, he's probably going to pick the offlaner here. He's going to pick his matchup into PL. I mean, there's not that many offlaners left in the pool, but at least he knows what he's getting himself into.
What about a Timbersaw? That's what I'm looking at right now. This hero comes to mind. He likes a hero. There's probably multiple options, but this hero doesn't care about Beastmaster that much, doesn't care about Chen in any way. Naturally pretty decent against PL, I think. Cares about mana burn, I guess. Techies can be annoying, though.
I actually really like that suggestion, because when we look at the potential off-lane Pango, the hero's a kind of a weak laner, right? And you're playing with a Monkey King or like double melee, maybe it doesn't work out super well. Timbersaul's ability to be left alone and let the monkey roam and be annoying on the map, that sounds very ideal.
Yeah, I think Pangolier offlane, if they would pick Pango, would be mid, rather. I think the offlane Pangolier is not so strong in the lane, and you see what you're laning against, right? You see Chen, PL. So I think Liquid is thinking like, we want to punch this lane ideally if they find something.
I would like some Pango mid. I think the only thing that makes me feel a little bit sad, if this monkey does go to a support role, you're playing two supports with like pretty low damage overall. And it has to come out of your cores in that case, but I think Terrorblade and Tide also a little bit low damage early on.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. Or the crowd loves this Tide Hunter. Or?
I think they're cheering for the flashing lights.
They're loving something.
No, who's cheering for a Tide? Anyone cheering for Tide Hunter?
Yes. Me. Well,
One guy.
I don't like it that much.
So yeah, they decide to go for the Tide. I guess also a decent option. Probably gonna have a free laning stage against PL and Chen. I think he's pretty annoyed by the mana burn later. Like PL can be a pretty annoying, like poking hero from the distance, throwing lances, burning his mana. But yeah, Zai's comfort as well. Likes the hero. And once again, like the monkey, it's not set in stone yet if this monkey will be a 4. It can actually be mid as well, I think.
Yep.
9Pandas now. They got a blind pick Kiyotaka.
Puck is gone.
Puck is gone. Tinker is gone. Tiny is gone.
Kind of surprised Liquid didn't take Pangolier for themselves instead there.
You mean in this pick right here?
No. Instead of the Tide Hunter, they could have had Pangolier up against PL.
Yeah, instead of Tide, right? Yeah. I guess I just want to take one of those offlaners maybe, just because the pool was getting a bit scarce as well.
Tide is kind of that big wall hero, and Pandas does have Chen and Beast, so lots of summons.
Yeah,
They can't really go through him.
No, I can definitely see the idea behind the pick. It's pretty tough to take him down in this game. 9Pandas probably thinking ideally they take a Kiyotaka here which can threaten Tide Hunter. But once again, like Liquid, they can put the Monkey King mid, they can also pick whatever mid layer they want into Kiyotaka. Yesterday he confidently blind picked Tiny, which obviously is out of the pool. Pool is getting pretty low. There's a Void Bird, something like that, which is generally pretty bad against Monkey King though.
Lots of mid heroes being banned. Sheep, what's left in the pool? What are the options here?
It depends on who you're playing, because these players have both dipped into like a lot of other heroes, like the Queen of Pain, the Shadow Fiends, the Magnuses, TAs. We've seen all of these mid. We've seen a Ricky mid. I don't want to see that one again. We saw Invoker yesterday, which I did not like.
Invoker.
We don't want to see that
I
again.
did not want to see that one again.
Invoker.
No, Stormer, no.
Okay.
Yo, actually, what are your opinion on Invoker this patch? Have you played him a lot?
Not leaking.
You're not leaking? Okay,
No, it's
okay.
looking. It's
Oh my god, he's
Oh.
spilling it all over himself.
It's not a beer though.
Yeah, he's going to have a sticky neck for the rest of the day.
Getting all the energy in for today. It's gonna be a long day. Good luck, brother. But yeah, Invoker is obviously received some nerfs. His laking got a bit nerfed, but he played it yesterday, so Kiyotaka might have different opinions on it. He is also a Grandmaster Invoker player, so he might be looking at the hero. With that being said, 9Pandas would maybe like to have a hero that can synergize with the techies to do some rotations and movement on the map.
Yeah, they need somebody to initiate. They need somebody to start these fights. They need somebody
Right.
to jump this Oracle in the back lines.
The pool is just so... I'm trying to think.
It's getting smaller and smaller.
Like...
Could they... I don't know really what his favorite heroes are.
Queen.
All right, yeah, they go the Queen. This is something he's played well before. Queen has been picked kind of in this position a couple times this tournament. Generally, just a strong laner, no matter what he's up against.
Honestly, I mean, the hero's pretty okay. I wouldn't say it's amazing. I think it's just hard to pick a hero on the stage, honestly. That's about it. I think many heroes are already out of the pool, and Queen of Pain is just, as you said, a decent blind pick. Can be a little bit annoyed by the Fate's Edict of the Oracle, because all your damage is magical. Hi, Tsunami.
Yeah, but at least he has that built-in blink, so he can maybe jump the Oracle. He can pick up, I don't know if he's going to go Orchid, but he could potentially jump this Oracle, kill Oracle first, and then work on the rest of Team Liquid.
There's been a change with Quop's, is it her shard or her axe? I can't remember. Someone was explaining it to me the other day.
Yeah, the Aghanim Scepter.
Yeah.
So she got it's a pretty huge buff, to be honest. Like, the Aghanim Scepter made it that the Shadow Strike triggers Scream of Pain, and it also hits a target that was affected by it. So these damage.
Flash Track. Isn't that not a great matchup for Flash versus Quap?
No, it's all right. I think it's gonna be pretty even, and it's also enabled really hard by the Oracle. It's a skill-based matchup, but I think Nisha picking confidently into it. It generally has, of course, a super good matchup against the Peel, but when I played Lesh against Chen, I've often been annoyed by these auras. Like, Chen is a big aura here. You find these small Centaur creep with the magic resistance and maybe get a pipe. Lesh-like damage can really suffer.
You could also get the Mage Slayer on PL, potentially.
Yeah.
If people still buy that. Those
Probably
three
will.
things together seem very good against Lesh.
Hard to
Favoring
tell.
anyone, Stormstormer?
Hard to tell. I think 9Pandas has like a really strong comfort draft, and I think the Chen, in general, I love the drafting approach in this patch. But once again, like, I'm not sure how this PL pick works out. I think the lane honestly should be fine against Tide Hunter. It's not as hard counter, so it could work out. But also on Liquid, what is insanely strong is his Oracle Lashtrack combo. Like, strong synergy by nature, healing up.
Strong synergy indeed. Talking of strong synergies, two people I know with a strong synergy are Sunsfan and Cinder and our casters. Lads, how is it going?
Great. Thank you, Pyrian Flax. How are you doing, good sir? You can't speak to me, so you can't actually answer. Sunsfan here with Cinder in lower bracket finals. Team Liquid versus 9Pandas on the new patch 8.0, otherwise known as 7.33.
B.
This is going to be, yeah, true, epic. This is going to be an epic matchup. 9Pandas have been extremely strong at this tournament, and Team Liquid, we already know their pedigree and whatnot. So, your thoughts, good sir?
I feel like this draft, the way this developed step by step, I really like what Liquid did to try to solve some of the problems that 9Panda were throwing at them. The Tide pick for me is really good.
Yeah.
For a couple of reasons. As the panel talked about, it kept the Monkey King flex until the very end so they could decide which path they wanted to take. And overall, Tide is also a good wall against the Chen army, and the way this hero plays the map, it's also good against Beastmaster. It's one of the heroes you can't really, just roar and kill. So there's a lot of pros for this hero. On top of that, I don't know. I feel like having two good friends as Oracle is really nice. Both Leshrac and Monkey King love to play together with the Oracle, as well as the Terrorblade, who's obviously the carry this game instead of the Monkey. So plenty of ways for Insania to play this game. Now, for the other side, for 9Pandas, I think in this game you want to play tempo while Ramses is farming. Your other four heroes really want to put the pressure on the map. And my big question is, are you going to get through the wall of Tide? Like, this hero is really going to determine the game, I feel like. So maybe you start trialing against this guy. Can you do that with your heroes? Can you pressure him out and give him a bad game? Or we'll see.
Yeah, what do you think the reason is we haven't seen a whole lot of Tide in this tournament thus far? There were still a lot of offlane heroes available, as the panel was talking about, so they purposely chose for the Tide relatively early.
I don't think we've seen the trio of Chen, Beastmaster, PL very much, which just gives the hero more and more added value. Usually we will see maybe one of these heroes, maybe two. Let's imagine the PL was a different carry entirely. Then the Tide pick looks a lot worse, but it doesn't necessarily look bad if it's a different carry, but it's just like an S-tier pick this game because of the added value that it has. However, worth noting, obviously Tide is pretty susceptible to getting Mana Burn, and PL will absolutely be going Diffusal. So it's a little bit of you can poke and prod, you can maybe drain his mana, and then you can go from there as Ramses in this game.
Yep, that is true.
And it feels like that might be how you have to play regardless later on in the game, right? It's a little bit of flanking, playing on angles instead of just brute forcing S5, because you would be brute forcing into Monkey Ring, Tide ult, Lash. It's hard. So
there's not exactly a silver edge carrier per se on 9Panda's side though, so you
can
have to
get
kind
it
of
on
force it a bit onto the PL.
True.
Yeah, we'll see what they opt for if it gets to that point. I mean, we've seen this patch is really interesting because we have seen some crazy games. We've seen a lot of stomps, which we're kind of anticipating because of the fact that it is a new patch. But now that we're so deep into it, are you expecting any differences now that these teams are kind of following a meta closer than the other teams would have because they've actually made it late into the tournament?
I still think inherently the way the patch works right now generates an opportunity for teams that get off to a good head start to just absolutely run away with it. So I would be surprised today if all the games we see are close. I think some of them will be pretty one-sided, and that's going to be because either a team just out-executes in the first 10 minutes in the laning stage, uses the gates better, or because they have a strategic advantage where they've just counterpicked the lanes better. It's hard not to drop the ball a single time in this stage of the tournament. There's so much more to think about because the teams are showing more and more strategies, so you have to consider additional bans, you have to consider additional laning setups, and again, that's something Liquid have done a really good job at in this game, in my opinion, is to make their lineup very difficult to draft against. So 9Pandas lineup in a vacuum is very solid the way it works and what it tries to do, but Liquid definitely didn't make it easy for them.
Yep, as we have a blood grenade used in the bot lane. And Sandy's going to take a sticky bomb to the back here. We'll be able to walk it off, though, as the harassment continues on. The mid lane is what I am most interested in. It is Nisha on the Lesh versus Kiyotaka's Queen of Pain. The panel kind of talked about this matchup. I'll let you take over as well. But the last time we cast Kiyotaka, a couple days ago, that was the old Tinker game, and it was a thing of beauty for some. People that hate Tinker, maybe not so much, but that was an impressive performance nonetheless.
Yeah, I think this lane is... I mean, first of all, I'm going to judge... let's try that again.
Trudge it up, son.
I'm gonna trust Storm's judgment. There we go. That was hard to say, apparently.
Roger's
Roger
getting blocked in. This could be first blood. Boxy and company will be taking it. So first blood the way of Liquid, and it looks like Boxy will be able to get out just fine.
Yeah, so about the mid, just I will trust Storm on this one. Obviously, he's the mid expert. I think it makes a lot of sense as well that this matchup should be skill-based, and oh, nice stun there from Nisha. Good harassment, because Queen of Pain is going to throw out her Shadow Strikes and try to get an advantage on the Lesh, but Lesh is one of the mid heroes with the highest just raw spell damage from range, so he can fight back and stand his ground. And then it comes down to, you know, just raw last hit damage. Both heroes have basically the exact same damage, so yeah, it checks out that this should be a pretty even matchup, and so far so good, right? Both players with 9 CS. A couple more denies on Nisha as well as the first water rune. Yep. Yutaka has a bottle coming out, so he'll go top now.
Yeah, so we'll be getting that trade, and we've been seeing a lot of movement at the 4-minute bounty, and obviously the 6-minute power rune has been just as powerful and important as the last patch. And Miero going to continue out with those axes. Is this an Aghanim Scepter build? Is this a good game for Aghanim Scepter Beastmaster? The drums.
So for now, he's considering Helm of the Dominator. I think the way their lineup works, they want as many auras as possible, right? They want to play with Chen and Beastmaster's auras, so going Dom and then having Chen buy the aura items is probably good. You can probably get drums at some point down the stretch here if this becomes a longer game, but I don't think it should be your go-to plan. So it's still a little bit of a mystery item to me, I'll have to admit. Like, I'm not completely certain when it's truly good. We've seen some games where it's been amazing, and we've seen other games where it's kind of underwhelming.
Yep, that is fair. And Ramsey's in the top lane, 11-2 CS. Zai in the meantime, 12-5, so he's doing quite good. Obviously, Tidehunter against melee heroes in general is going to have a decent time as long as he's able to get these levels.
This hero's amazing against PL in lane. The PL just offers nothing against you. You block a lot of the damage with the Kraken Shell, you buy Ring of Health, and you just anchor smash every time he wants to CS. And PL coupled with Chen can't really bully the Tide. If the support was a different kind, maybe you would have a shot at it, but Chen needs to get a Chain Lightning Harpy. I think that's more or less the only way you bully Tide level 1 and 2. And once Tide gets level 4, even that won't cut it anymore.
So you're saying Roger has been very unlucky in getting these creeps.
Well, it's part of the game.
That's right.
They've also blocked the... Wait, did he? He unblocked the small camp himself, but now Tide is going to walk in and body block it. So Roger will have to explore his options. He'll find a little Centaur. That ain't great.
Okay.
And now the Kobold camp. Maybe he'll take the healing creep and just... Oh, he'll take the Foreman. Nice to have some move speed, I suppose.
And Boxy jumping in, just able to do a little bit of chip damage. 9Pandas did control the 4-minute water rune, so Kiyotaka able to bottle one, Antares just takes the other. So Nisha a bit starved on the mana department. We can see he does have a half-level advantage in the mid lane. Pretty significant, but there is a full wave now for Kiyotaka to catch up. I think this 6-minute rune is going to be extremely important, as Nisha's actually just going to walk back to base.
Yeah, if you get the right rune on Queen of Pain and you get level 6 before Lesh, you can absolutely solo kill this hero. I think Kiyotaka will equalize the experience now. If he sets this up well and gets like 2/3 of this wave, if not the whole wave denied, then he will actually have that advantage. Nisha's coming back now, so he only lost 1 creep. He'll be completely fine.
And Boxy continuing to harass Roger as Antares. He's going to get caught potentially. Insania and Mickey teaming up. And that's going to be a casual kill for Mickey in his meta form. So second kill for Liquid here in the lower bracket finals of Berlin Major. As Kiyotaka looking... Oh, it's going to take a lot of damage from Boxy right now. The Jingu stacks are stacking up. He's going to be able to blink away, trying to kite him a bit with that Shadow Strike. Applies another one. Trying to dodge it out, but Boxy, he's going to end up falling. Scream of Pain is there, but Nisha's trying to help out as well. Gets the deny. Nope. Kiyotaka ends up netting himself the kill. Just barely off time there for Nisha. Good attempt.
Taking full advantage of all things. We were kind of joking about it, but the Kobold move speed aura, he kept...
That's true, actually.
He actually kept outranging the Monkey King by like 50 range non-stop with that move speed. And
very valuable.
Nisha now could be in trouble.
He is. 6-minute power rune's going to pop. It's going to be in the top, and that means Kiyotaka is going to get that along with the kill. But no boundless strike from Boxy. He's able to steal that at the very least, but obviously Nisha dying is not what Liquid would want. Antares falls to Insania. He's made the transition over here as well. A little too late to save the Lesh.
It's a big kill for 9Pandas to find that Lesh rack there. And yeah, sure you don't get the power rune, but he didn't either. I guess Kiyotaka might have to go to base after this wave. Like, he is a little bit exposed if he gets caught by a Monkey King stun into Lesh stun. Does have no bounty rune to take either because Monkey King has cleaned that one up, along with Ramsey's Courier, of all things. 2
juicy range creeps. He needs that XP, surely.
Yeah.
Gonna stick around a little bit longer. You can see Boxy backstabbing here potentially. He's not sure
spotted by the Courier
there. Double stack into a triple, it looks like. Boxy will not be blocking it. As a pause. How many, let's start with 9Pandas. How many 9Pandas fans are in the audience today? Okay, all right, not
That's
bad.
more than 9.
Yeah, that's decent. And Liquid fans? Liquid? All right.
It's relatively even.
It's not as polarizing as I thought it would be. That's good to see.
People are just cheering for good Dota.
That's right. That's what we always want to see. As Boxy making his way over to the bot lane now. Did not use the gates. This is he actually just walked basically the entire way. But we'll be able to go onto the trees, and
I think
Tower
saw him.
Bottom, and the axes bring him down to the ground. Don't think they want to commit any further though, as a Fate's Edict is there to protect him. Just the fact that they've spotted him, he's wasted quite a bit of time now.
Overall, looking at the CS though, it's looking very good for Liquid. All 3 lanes, top CS. So even with these couple of kills going either way, Liquid have accumulated a 1,000 net worth lead, just primarily from raw lane creeps. 50 on the Lesh, 46 on Terrorblade. And a good amount of denies too, which means Miero will be slightly behind in the bot lane. Will get his level 6 soon, and you would imagine that Queen of Pain is going to probably skill her ulti on level 8 in this game, and try to connect to play with the Roar. He's actually going to have to use it defensively.
Has to use it. Boxy comes in. The balance strike he used only to kill the boar, knowing that the kill onto the hero itself was unlikely. So a lot of movement here from Liquid, not ending up netting a kill, but they do force the Roar out.
Oh, that's decent.
And Kiyotaka, like you talked about, just about to hit level 8, has an Invis rune, and we'll see if he does level that Sonic Wave coming up.
That's the thing. I feel like he would have loved to connect with the Beastmaster Roar and kill the Terrorblade bottom with Sonic Wave, but now that the Roar is on cooldown, this timing might miss.
Yeah,
Boxy.
that is true. Boxy spotted out.
Yeah, he's mega
Sticky
dead
bomb into the initiation from Antares. More than enough damage, so a kill going the way of 9Pandas.
Yeah, nice little ward there. They've had it for a while. Boxy placed a sentry, so he will know they have these wards now.
Mid lane, Kiyotaka's in a lot of trouble. They set up a nice stun onto him. Able to bring out, but the Lightning Storm somehow procs. Okay. Is quite the range there.
One of the less known changes of 733B, Lightning Storm now actually has global casting.
Antares is going to get caught in the river. Still 3 members of Liquid here, easily cleaning him up. It looked like it was Catherine, and then it didn't technically proc until after the blink went through. It was kind of a weird interaction.
That's the thing about Lightning Storm is when the animation finishes, the spell still
small delay.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of like Finger of Death, right?
Yeah.
Where you see the animation and then the damage comes delayed.
Oh, Nisha stealing a nice stack here on the hard
huge.
Camp. And obviously Miero's going to want to be able to take this ancient stack by himself.
That's such a big win for Liquid, though, getting that out of Beastmaster's hands. You're delaying his Helm of the Dominator so much here. Ancient should go his way, which is obviously the bigger of the two, but a couple of 100 gold.
Rune. Where will it spawn? It will be top. It is an arcane. Actually will not be denied, so Kiyotaka just takes it for himself. And now Miero finally left alone to get his ancient creeps ever so slowly with those axes. And in terms of the farm between him and Zai, I mean, there's a pretty big difference. Zai, 800 net worth lead right now. And I mean, you talked about this lane kind of being free for him. At some point, do you think Ramses needs to leave, or is he fine to just try to farm with Anchor Smash as the permanent debuff applied to him? He's going to be spotted, though. He's going to heal up a bit. Boundless Strike is there. Zai gets off the Ravage. Gush to follow, and a casual right-click is enough. Mickey even coming through the gate to provide moral support, if nothing else. And now they're going to turn this into potentially a tier 1 top.
Yeah, usually PL, the way he sustains in this lane is that he gets the diffuser earlier than this, and then he just drains Tide's mana to stay, but hasn't quite got there yet. And of course, that is kind of a consequence of the lane they were playing with as well. Really stopped Zai from denying a lot of this. He's got 14 denies on the Tide, and imagine all those are CS on PL. He would have had diffusal 2 minutes ago, and he could have definitely stood his ground way better than this. Now he's going to retreat to the jungle for now. I wonder how 9Pandas are going to distribute their heroes. Who's going to be sitting top? Is it still going to be the PL just cutting between this and the jungle, or will they give a bit of space to the supports? They're going to go on Tide.
His Kraken Shell does activate. The roar to come afterwards. Blast off activates the Kraken Shell again, and he's going to be just fine. Insania comes out as well. Tide support.
कुछ हुआ ही नहीं
अभी
इंसेनिया बलि का बकरा अल्टी मार दिया रे खुद पे नहीं नहीं टाइड को नहीं मार सकते ये लोग
अरे बहुत उसने
थैंक यू
Nice Sonic Wave onto 2, and Insania, or Nisha, I should say, dropped by the axis. And Zai thought he was invulnerable, but now he's outnumbered 3 versus 1. As Boxy's going to chop down the tree again. Triple kill for Miero. Boxy gets off one more Boundless Strike, and he will fall shortly after. 9Pandas and that
एक्सपेक्टेड नहीं था मेरे को मुझे लगा कि
amazing push there. They know that there's no
ओरेकल मरेगा बस बाकी इन लोग बैकअप हो जाएंगे मगर वो लेशराक का किल फिर ऊपर से टाइड का किल फिर मंकी का भी किल
क्वीन ऑफ क्वीन की अल्टी उसकी वजह से अच्छा खासा
डैमेज हुआ
proximity mines coming out from Antares and a good blast
सही
off
है
there.
क्वीन ऑफ पेन तो अच्छी खासी बफ हुई है सेप्टर भी इसका अच्छा खासा बफ हुआ है
but it's a really healthy sign for them to be able to take this tower. I actually thought this was going to be a bigger challenge for them against the Tide, but they managed to get through it.
ये Shadow Strike बैठता है
He's showing himself in the bot lane again. He has been chopped down at 2 or 3 trees this game.
Yeah, he's pretty low level. He needs a bit of space here. He's level 5 minute 13 on that monkey.
Yeah, not a particularly great start for him, but he's going to spot out Roger. Going to attempt to take the gate, but the Boundless Strike will cancel it. There's the mech. Trying to TP out the old-fashioned way. Will barely get back to base.
Nice.
बच्चा
Living on a
escape हो
very
गया
close.
Actually, a little bit of a mistake there from Boxy. I think he stunned way too early, and that was a little bit of muscle memory. I want to say
Channeling
from
में
the
कितना time
earlier
रहता
gate.
है?
I think he stunned with more than a second channel left on the gate. Obviously, they got changed from 3 to 4.
2 ही सेकंड है
If he
फिर
waits a bit
चैनलिंग पर
longer on
उड़ता है
that
ना
stun,
3
they get the
सेकंड तो
kill on
टीपी को
Roger because
लगता
he
है
has to commit on the gate for as long as
हाँ
possible.
मगर शायद वो
So, slight misstep there.
ये नजदीक आया था ना कौन वो
Not the end of the world, but
टेरर प्लेट
for
मेरे
himself
को
in
लगता है मेरे को
particular,
लगा
the
वो
monkey,
इधर
that
से
kill is
आया
actually pretty impactful. Now he
कोई
will
भी
find the
नजदीक आया
14-minute
चैनलिंग
wisdom
जिसका
here, which will
फास्ट
help
है
him a lot
तो
to get him
उधर से
bridge the
टेलीपोर्ट
gap
ज्यादा
to
जल्दी
level
होगा ना
6.
हाँ मगर मुझे लगा क्या बोलते
He could
हैं
technically TP to the left side and take that one
टेरर
as
ब्लेड
well,
ऊपर
but
के
more
इससे
than
आया
likely going to leave that
पोर्टल
for
से
ऊपर के पोर्टल के
someone
पास
else, maybe
क्या
Nisha.
हाँ ऐसे
Boxy
मुझे
took
लगा
the other-
देखना
Yeah,
पड़ेगा
actually, you're right. It's still there.
उससे क्यू टीपी क्या क्या उसने शायद पैनिक टीपी किया या फिर
Control of that area, so yeah, they do get
स्टन नहीं है
both.
इसीलिए उसने टीपी कर दिया
We
ऐसे
have
भी
a
हो
smoke
सकता
now,
है
double damage
जो भी है
onto the
और अच्छा
clock.
था वो टीपी उसका
Find
टाइम
something,
वेस्ट
but
किया 3
Escape
लोगों
तो
का
अच्छा
breaks the
था
smoke just to kill some
हाँ
wild
3 लोग का
links.
टाइम वेस्ट किया
You
उसने
can see no members of Liquid in
बट
this area.
मुझे लगा कि अगर चैनल टाइम
Roger
चैनल
has
का टाइम अगर
quite a few
पोर्टल
creeps
का
at his
कम है
disposal
तो
now.
पोर्टल से
I
जाना
mean,
ज्यादा
what are the most
पर
popular
उड़ता
creeps
है
these days for
एक
the
तो एक
Chen
सेकंड
players?
जल्दी निकल जाएगा
That's a
ऊपर
good
से
question.
टीपी का
There's
तेरा
so
बच
many,
जाएगा
so many options. I mean, Roger loves his
हाँ मगर
troll
ऊपर कोई
summoners,
रहेगा
that's
तो
for
उसको
sure.
पकड़ ही लेगा ना
Done any.
पोर्टल के
No, he
पास
hasn't
हाँ
gotten
मेरा
yet.
ध्यान ऊपर
Alpha
वही
Wolf is always
ऊपर में
going to
क्या
be
था
an S tier
वो
creep
ध्यान
as long
नहीं
as
है
it has
मेरे
this
को
aura. Like late game, this is just one of the best ones.
वो समझा मैं पोर्टल का तो बोला वो
If he
2
gets the
सेकंड
shard, I
का
think there's some
1 सेकंड का एडवांटेज
ancient
मिलता
options,
है
of course.
वो समझा
Which I'm assuming they will really try
1
to
second
prioritize
advantage
getting the shards here
plus
because
100
both
gold
his
तेरा बचेगा
and the techies are actually very
Plus
useful.
TP
Now, the
बचेगा ना
TPs are-
TP कर सकते
TP
the
में
हैं
old
नहीं
techie
जाएगी
shard
नहीं
arguably was
जाएगी,
better,
हाँ।
right? But with how the
ये
hero
सब
has been
cost
changed
तेरा
and
बच
the
जाएगा
blast of now being a
उसका।
stun,
efficiency के हिसाब से तो बता रहा था।
pretty
efficiency
useful
के
against a
हिसाब
hero
से
like
हाँ।
Terror.
मगर इतना कुछ चालू था मैं मुझे लगा कि ये अभी मर ही
to get the
जाएगा
taunt as soon as possible.
और
Just
इतना
make
सब
sure
कुछ
to
चालू
keep
था तो
Ramsey
मेरा
on the
मिनी
other
मैप
side
में
of the
ध्यान
map
नहीं
and
था
do
कि
it
ऊपर
just
क्या चालू है करके।
Never gonna live that.
मैं हाँ मेरा भी नहीं था क्योंकि मेरा गेम चालू हो गया था बीच में नीचे।
Boxy just
Ulti
getting
मारा
caught out
रे,
again
monkey
and
king
again.
के
You gotta give a lot of
लिए।
credit to 9Pandas. Of course, they have the tree killing abilities. Nisha, though, they're gonna try to turn this around. Split Earth onto Miero. Mickey popping that Metamorphosis will be killing off the creeps of the Chen as Miero will eventually drop to the Pulse Nova. So ends up being a 1-for-1 in Liquid's favor.
Mickey actually showed up and popped meta. Felt a
हाँ
little bit
मगर
unnecessary here.
मंकी किंग के लिए अल्टी यूज किया
मेरे घर के बाहर चालू है चिल्लम चिल्ली
I guess he
माइक में
wants
आ
to
रहा
use
है
it
क्या?
to put some pressure onto this tier 1 tower, so
करा वॉल्यूम मैंने
fair
कम
enough, I
रखा
guess.
चेक कर
And he will do just that. And we'll see now that that 20-minute mark
नहीं
is
अच्छा है कम रखा है तो कम रख।
relatively soon if they're going to occupy
हाँ,
this
नहीं
space
आ रहा
even
है
more. But they're going to first TP into the top lane, trying to get Antares on this very annoying techies. Split Earth is there. He gets off a couple mines, but inevitably will die again.
Nicely distributed from Liquid. They still push the bot tower with Terrorblade, so they get both objectives. If you want to call it techies kill an objective, maybe that's a bit of a stretch, but they accomplish both plays at the same time. Don't really lose much efficiency. Nisha kind of wants to be up here anyway, so just push out and farm.
मुझे pick wise Liquid
They
का अच्छा
protect
लग
an
रहा है strong
objective.
ज़्यादा।
Yeah.
इल्यूजन बंद कर सकता है लेट गेम में
Zai has
बाकी
his
तो कुछ इतना
Greaves,
ये नहीं है
and I don't know if he's going to turn this Ring of Health into an eventual pipe. I would assume that might be the case. Kiyotaka going to be forced out by Zai, who is pretty high level, level 12 right now. Looks like he'll go for the cloak into Blink, so maybe pipe after the Blink. Now that is a little bit harder to build without the hood being a component anymore.
Their lineup doesn't have that much catch, right? It's the Monkey King stun, and Boxy's game has not been great, and he has level 1 boundless only. So if Zai can jump in and set things up for his other teammates, that's probably a well worth investment.
देगा निशा का हाँ
I love that Diabolic Edict interaction into the trees. Seen that time and time again as the tier 2 tower fortification popped. Backdoor is protecting it for a decent amount of time as well, so it'll be slow, but I do believe 9Pandas are just going to give this one up.
Yep, they're trying to trade for bottom. Roger has found a troll summoner.
Oh yeah, the Skelly boys are back.
बाबा
But the defense is mounting
था
for Liquid
yes
as
wet dream
Boxy jumps in and kills a lot of them. He's going to be happy about that one. Of course, a lot of the XP shared, so not really able to gain any significant XP for himself. As Roger and company will back away safely. But tower advantage definitely in favor of Liquid right now. But the gold lead just slightly in 9Pandas' favor, which, like you brought up earlier, I'm sure they're happy with, considering the state of the game.
Actually late
Panda
game
style now
Liquid
online
जीत
for
सकता है
Ramsey.
mostly
Yeah, he hasn't really been involved in anything from 9Pandas just yet. He's just quietly been farming. He's 0-1 and 0 and just keeps ramping up. I'm assuming Heart is next to come. The matchup against Lesh is interesting because Lesh has timing windows where he just
मेरा इधर से आवाज नहीं आ रहा है ना
can
इसका
also reach critical mass in some teamfight situations, especially if you manage to kill the Oracle first, so you can just overwhelm Lesh when you're big enough.
अच्छा
So we'll be curious to see.
Boxy, another tree chopped down. My goodness. They are all over this right now.
सही खेल रहा है ये
Yeah,
starts getting drained.
Mana starting to get drained ever so slowly, getting slowed by the sticky bomb. The Triceratops doing some work as well. Pops the Bloodstone. There's the Roar on top, and they're doing so much damage from afar. They don't really have to fully commit. Sonic Wave. False Promise keeping Nisha alive right now, but there's the blast off Ravage to come. Nisha's at full HP as a result of the False Promise, and the rest of 9Pandas now retreating for the time being. Nisha perpetually slowed, it feels like, as Ramses thinking about going back in. He's going to get stunned out, getting extremely low. Pops that Doppelganger, will find the distance. Now they might just wait out this Mickey Terrorblade Metamorphosis.
So on all said and done, that was a 1-for-1. I guess they killed Boxy to start, so 2-for-1.
Yeah, the false promise is a real issue, and it's going to be hard to kill Insania for that. This is obviously a comfort pick from him. He picks it regardless of the meta. We saw it, I think it was the first pick of the tournament early on in the tournament where nobody was picking this hero, and he's very good.
I do like the way 9Pandas set it up, though. I mean, first they kill the Monkey King, and then they roar the Lesh to force the Oracle to come out of hiding and use that ult, and then they just kill him off, right?
Yeah.
If Oh no, Ramsey's not again.
Are they killing the Tormentor?
No.
Oh,
Roger.
Ramses, please.
Oh my god, he's trying to get revenge on Roger.
The Tormentor remembers Ramses. He wants blood.
Dude, this is literally 9Pandas' strongest opponent in this tournament. They cannot beat this one.
Miero coming to help out.
Ramses, don't do it. Don't do it.
Ramses going back in. He has no fear.
There it is. All right.
And the shard will be picked up onto Roger.
Yeah, that's good. So now he has the ability to take one Ancient.
Yes.
I think I'm a little bit torn between whether you want the Dragon or the Golem. So obviously the Golem aura is really nice, but perhaps some split pushing with the Dragon could also cause trouble for Liquid, who will claim the biggest neutral of them all.
That's right. They just Roche. He has gone down. Nisha will take the Aegis, one of the best Aegis carries in the game, of course, on that lash. But yeah, from Chen's perspective, Shard, like you said, allowing you to take Ancients now, but also adds that extra level to the creeps.
Yep.
And now that we're at the 20-minute mark, that means they can be up to level 3, and then at the 30-minute mark, you can max them out at the level 4 ability, which is only available to Chen. And I have to go through the notes again to see every single neutral creep and how they actually scale. I know that the Ancient Granite Golem does scale very well, because the level 1, I think, is the old regular level in terms of how much HP gain you get. Not sure about the Dragon, though. Let's see once he picks an Ancient to go with. Of course, he could still just go with the Skelly boys. They did serve him quite well.
Actually, जो LAN matches है, ये होना चाहिए.
There's the Ancient Granite Golem for Miero.
Live होना चाहिए, delay नहीं रहना
Over a new creep just in time, so Nisha got no bounty. He ends up dominating a Kobold Foreman. This is the
rules बनाया ना उन्होंने,
Kobold Foreman you guys
तो
will probably
rules
ever see.
starting to end तक follow
860 health.
करते हैं.
I wonder what's in that cup.
LAN का नहीं होना
Oh,
चाहिए.
yeah, delicious. Love that guy.
इसने किसका बोला delicious?
Need to get some more lore concerning him. As the Blink Dagger now up for Zai, so they have a real way to initiate. So next time Boxy gets cut down from a tree, there will be a Ravage soon after, I'm sure.
Okay. नहीं रखा अच्छा खासा कुछ
You still
issue नहीं है
gotta be
मेरे
pretty
को.
careful as Zai.
अपना तो अभी experimental phase है
Even
तो
if you
इतना
hit
issue
multiple
नहीं है.
heroes is necessarily great. You really need Nisha to be able to connect on it immediately. If the stun duration goes to waste, you're setting up PL for a much better fight.
Yeah, trying to kill off Rogers' creeps. Oh, the Wild Wind takes it. And the Ogre guy, whatever his name is, with the ice armor dies as well. Nobody remembers his name.
The Ogre guy.
They just remember his spell. Okay, it's the ice armor dude. He can't survive as the Aghanim Scepter now up for Kiyotaka. Have yet to cast a game with this one. So that is going to be fun. And Tier 2 tower falls.
While this may be slightly slower than average, I think that is a bit skewed from previous queens not going these 2 build-up items in Witchblade and Kaya Sanj, because he is farmed.
Yep, Ancient
ये
Dragon
मिला ना,
was the
Aegis
choice.
मिला ना,
Actually, I think that's Miero's creep. As Mickey in that meta, pressuring this tier 3 tower bot along with Nisha, obviously still with the Aegis. Split Earth connects on the Kiyotaka, but he'll blink
Actually,
away.
मेरे को लगा
They
Dire
win the tower
करेगा.
freely. Now Ramses has come. It's off the
मगर इन
Spirit
लोग का
Lance.
कुछ
Now applying some pressure to Mickey. This is early Sun. There's a big Ravage from Zai. How much damage do they have, though? Kiyotaka able to blink out. Sonic Wave comes, pushing Nisha back as Ramses getting very low, being pursued from the other side of the trees. Will find the distance into the fountain as the Wukong's command gives a little bit of space, but they're not able to get that much. They get Antares, but no full set of racks for Liquid as Nisha might be in some trouble.
Ravage वगैरह use किया
Trying to save a nice stomp onto 2. Nisha looks like he'll drop his first life in all likelihood. He's deniable. Will they pursue any further? Boxy attempting to TP out will be fine. Nisha, Aegis down. In all likelihood will be surrounded now. Attempting to TP out, ambitious thought. Double kill for Kiyotaka and a successful defense from 9Pandas.
Great hold from them. That just goes to show you that looked like a great Ravage, but just barely, just lacking a little bit of damage. And once they get to reset, you kind of have to get the hell out of there. As Liquid, you used Monk Heal, you used Ravage, and you didn't get kills.
Yeah.
It's just a hard disengage, but 9Pandas are on their tail really quickly with the defusal of the PL, and of course Queen of Pain has good chase potential too. Didn't let them get away with that one. Now 5k lead for them. Obviously a huge part of this net worth discrepancy is the Chen. Zero farms a lot. And after the change where you get gold when you use
वो
Holy
थोड़ा ये
Persuasion as
करना
well,
चाहिए क्या बोलते
it
हैं
just gets even richer.
Damage block बढ़ाना चाहिए और
getting
ये
saved by the Sonic Wave.
निकलता है
He
ना
gets to
वो
reset back.
कौन सा भी
This push is actually over now, but it's really
debuff हो
hard to get
जाता है
out.
बफ निकल जाता है या फिर डिबफ निकल जाता है वो उसका वो निकाल देना चाहिए
really deep, so
थोड़ा ब्लॉक बड़ा हो चलेगा
that stomps. Very nice.
हाँ
Queen of Pain damage is pretty nuts
वो भी
too.
चलेगा
Yeah, let's talk about the Agnes setup because there's actually an interesting interaction that I think I just saw, but I might be wrong, so you have to correct me. So the way the Agnem Scepter works is the Shadow Strike is now an AoE. You might have to hold this thought though. This will be a very long discussion. It'll probably take 30 minutes to explain. As Ramses will find Nisha in the tree line. Doppelgang's out of the Split Earth. Nicely timed. Nisha pops the Bloodstone relatively early. Boxy with the Wukong's command. Miero gets off his roar onto Insania, and that is a big kill. But Nisha already had that false promise applied. And Kiyotaka on the outskirts, getting more Shadow Strikes over and over and over. Nisha still being pursued and will eventually be brought down. Mickey gets a nice Sunder onto Roger, but he's still surrounded. Another Shadow Strike, another Sonic Wave, a full team wipe. Kiyotaka and company absolutely destroy Liquid in this fight.
Did Nisha die to a sticky bomb in the fountain?
Maybe.
He died to techies in the fountain.
That's insane.
All right, I mean,
You'll banana
actually getting one lane here, I'm sure.
You're sure? 20 seconds on Nisha's spawn timer here.
This is a
lot of
fast
creeps.
push.
Yeah, they're gonna pop that fortification.
No need to go back here. They know Ravage is available, but 15 seconds. This goes pretty quickly.
So they will even it up with the towers. Will they be able to get the set of racks as well? And even if the Terrorblade comes back, you will not have meta. We've seen this so many times with these transformation type heroes. And 9Pandas. Looks like they want it back. So
I was sure they were going to get that. Okay, they got the range tracks, but not the full side. Yeah. Still a huge win for them. That's about a 10,000 gold swing because they stomped that fight. I think, was that a 5-0? No, they lost Roger.
Range lags
so 5-1, they get the tier 3 tower, they get one barracks, and all of a sudden, things are ramping up really, really nicely. Yeah. Ramses now with the Mage Slayer. So you wanted to talk about the Queen Eggs.
Yeah, okay.
I think I know
ऐसे लगा था कि ये इन लोग का एडवांटेज रहेगा 9Pandas का रैक्स वगैरह लेना ट्राई करेंगे बट थोड़ा क्या बोलते हैं लिक्विड ने थोड़ा अच्छा खेला तो उनको एजिस लेके उन लोग ने ट्राई किया
He's technically hurting his teammates with the Scream of Pain, right?
मगर अभी मुझे लगा नॉर्मल हो रहा है
when it gets dispelled, right?
That's what I'm not 100% sure of, but that is an interesting interaction. You can take advantage of a hero being extremely tanky.
ये भी अच्छा खासा फार्म हुआ है एक्चुअली
say was if you have Shadow Strike and Terrorblade solutions then they time out.
अभी तो मस्त टैंक करेगा वो तो
technically ends as well, right? I have to say I don't know this for a fact. This is a I mean, this Axe was a thing in the previous patch, but people bought it very rarely, and we didn't really get to see it have great effect as we do now.
Yeah.
Tower is gonna miss that one.
Yeah, box
third skill neutral item. First skill.
But either way, 9Pan is able to take advantage of that timing. The high ground defense was successful, and they
वही मैं पूछ रहा था मेरे को लगा तो उसकी बात कर रहा है Mage Slayer
in a very favorable position.
Illusion से होता होगा तो फिर
29 minute mark.
फर्स्ट किल है ना उससे अप्लाई होता है
Tormentor still not taken by Liquid, by the way. It's just been
पर Illusion से भी होता है क्या मगर मतलब बाकी के क्या बोलते हैं थर्ड स्किल से या फिर जो भी ऑटोमेटिक Illusion हो जाता है उससे भी होता है क्या
This spell is generally good, but there's just some games where it's better than others. In this case, Reign of Destiny against PL
नहीं
is
होता है
pretty
क्योंकि
nice.
उधर
It's kind of a cluster game where a
बाकी
lot
के
of things
Illusion
are
दूसरे
moving
को
up
मार
all
रहे
the
थे
time, so
शायद
you get added value.
मर नहीं हो रहा था
Yeah, that's very surprising. The Monkey King shard not as good this game,
चोरी
but we
करके
even
भाग
saw
गया
some cool
निशा
usages with that yesterday.
सुमड़ी में
I will take back my words. It's not a meme. It's underrated, probably. Not too bad. You wouldn't be sad to get that. But yeah, Reign of Destiny, obviously extremely good. Obviously a nerf version versus the Ags from the prior patch, but I think it went from like, it was like a 40% nerf or something like it. It's still really good.
It's amazing.
Okay, looks like they remember that the Tormentor exists.
They're like, it's 30 minutes, guys. Let's get ready for the Tormentor. Oh, wait, we never killed the first one.
Yeah, it's going to be a quick one.
I don't know this. Monkey King.
It will be Monkey King. Does that thing get angrier as time goes on? The crowd is cheering for something. I know you're confused, Syndrome.
Yeah.
Oh, Roche. He's back. He's going to be gone on now by 9Pandas. And you can see Liquid kind of hightailing to this area, but I think it's going to be too late. So this is going to be the not the Aghanim Scepter, the Aegis and Cheese, second Roche for 9Pandas.
This is huge for
them. The real question is, does Liquid want to fight after the fact?
Ramses can play so aggressively now that he has Aegis. There's no risk. This is one of the problems that Tide has until in this stage of the game, until Super League and with Refresh. Okay.
Oh, the Ravage from Zai. Do they have the damage? They're going to go for Roger first. Absolutely. He is donezo. Miero, he does get off the roar. Where's that false promise? Finally applied to Nisha, but a big sonic wave comes out from Kiyotaka as Ramsey's trying to finish off everything on the sideline. Insania getting pretty low. Nisha about to end the false promise. He's fully healed as a result. Zai ends up dropping though, as Mickey's still in that meta form. 2 have died from 9Pandas. Ramsey, remember, he still has his Aegis. How much do they want to actually put on him? Looks like he'll get that first life as Boxy attempting to TP out next to the gate. Will not get out though. More burst damage from Kiyotaka. And the rest of Liquid will have to fall back.
That fight actually went a lot better for Liquid than I expected with the start. Keep in mind the PL, you ravage and you kill off one support, but PL in the fight has effectively 2 full health bars afterwards, but they navigated it pretty well. They got off a good false promise and found a couple of kills, and with PL losing this Aegis, I think 9Pandas would have loved to use this to try to end the game. And now we might end up dragging this one out quite a bit, because as I was going to say, one of Tide's issues in this stage of the game is the hero doesn't fight too well into Aegis, right? Like, Ravage is a really important tool. You often want to use to kill a key enemy core, but if that core has Aegis, your cooldown is just way too long. And it's a very high commitment spell. You can't just like
वो मर रहा ही था ना, वो ये पकड़ के मार रहा था 20 मास्टर
उसको. It's tough. So
well, that's kind of the issue, is they're running with 2 long cooldown spells in the meta and the Ravage.
हाँ, मरो बाद में जब ये rotation हुआ, वो मर रहा ही था.
You definitely need to get value when you use these spells, or 9Pandas are just gonna
laning पे थोड़ा अच्छा है, फिर बाद में rotation में issue हो गया.
The longest cooldown on the side of 9Pandas that they kind of rely on is Roar, and that's not very long. It's a minute. I guess the Queen of Pain ult is a little bit longer. But I don't know if you necessarily like have to have that available for a fight. Obviously, you'd like to, but
did you mention the drums?
I did not. We have to hold that thought.
And we also have the minefield sign.
Oh.
Techies with the eggs as well. So this is going to be an absolute mess. It's going to be drums of Slom. There's going to be the minefield. There's Queen of Pain Shadow Strike. The amount of AoE damage that this Dire lineup has is actually kind of disgusting when you think about it.
Minefield अगर channeling stop किया तो बंद होता है ना?
Split Earth will continue to go off over and over, which for
Minefield अगर मैं डाल रहा हूँ और तूने मेरा channeling stop किया, तो CD चला जाता है ना उस skill का?
Does the drumming become annoying as the players? Like literally for the rest of the game, you're gonna hear drumming in your ears.
Check करना चाहिए actually. कैसा है वो?
That's a good question. I think that's individual.
Okay. So there's a lot of people with ADD that would be pretty annoyed.
And I'm digging the beat.
Yeah, it's good for now. Just wait 20 minutes later.
It's a little bit fast, doesn't it?
Of course, it increases.
It's distracting.
Funny skill hai yaar.
But yeah, this is definitely a cool Aghanim Scepter, and I believe they buffed in the last patch, right? So even better than before.
I mean, it would be cool if you're a drummer that you played more than just one single.
Actually, Dota 1 के match होता है. Dota के इनपे character design पे match नहीं होता.
Get a kit or something.
Yeah, true.
मगर ये लोग ने क्या बोला, Dota 1 के हिसाब से डाल दिया.
So that way you can have a full symphony with the right 5-man lineup.
Symphony of skill.
That's right. But yeah,
इसका कैरेक्टर कैसा है ना, Dota 1 में ड्रम बजाते रहता है वो, और उसके क्या आजू बाजू जो बीस्ट है उनको एम्पावर करता रहता है.
Smoke coming up. And I do want to talk about the Techies mind
या
sign,
जो भी आर्मी है सबको एम्पावर करता है. वो इसका काम रहता है.
Immediately inhibited at half HP. Insania is not near enough for the false promise. Finally getting in range, gets it off just in time. Now they're trying to focus them down, but a big ult again from Zai. But where is the damage from Liquid? They lose the Oracle. Roger's going to be the trade. Nisha, he will die inside of the false promise. Too much damage to handle, and Mika is next.
Nisha की वजह से पूरा ये हुआ.
9Pandas getting basically everything that they want. 3 buybacks available from Liquid, but again, they don't have meta. I mean, the TV doesn't have buyback anyway, and no Ravage. So now 9Pandas is pretty comfortable to go for these tier 4 towers.
Yeah, so watch this blast off there, slowing down Insania in the back. He does get false promise off in the end, but Nisha's already almost fully drained of mana, can't really stand his ground, and now this fight's just absolutely over. Just a little bit of a misstep from Liquid, out of position.
Oracle ne buyback
Team fight.
Continue going here. The tier 4 tower fell for
Nisha
the
ne
first
buyback kiya
one.
shayad.
Second one being targeted now. Buyback comes out from Zai. He jumps in with a big anchor smash onto one hero. Not really that fearsome at all for 9Pandas. Is now
big eco smash on the one hero.
Getting that tier 3 in the mid lane. As Zai continuing to just get poked and prodded with these sticky bombs, these shadow strikes. Pops the pipe, definitely helping a bit. As Kiyotaka, he can focus now on the tier 4 towers. The rest of his team gets the mid racks. And there's the Techie's mine sign. Creating a minefield for him.
Yeah, insane
no one
skill
from
lagta hai
Liquid
mujhe.
want to enter.
It's a theoretically really good pushing spell, right? Where you do get it placed offensively like that. If Liquid were to take a team
thoda
strike into
overpowered skill
pops the
lagta hai
BKB
agar
to avoid the split earth. Two sets of
अच्छे
racks
time
in
pe
favor
डाला
of
था.
9Pandas. Mickey still with no metamorphosis. Sonic Wave is going to connect onto both cores for Liquid, but
Sonic Wave mein
they're
dekhna
going to
shadow
play this
strike bet
discipline.
tha.
They forced out at least one buyback, I think, onto Zai, if I'm not mistaken.
हाँ chapter का
25k
effect
lead
है.
now and firm control of this game.
ऊपर से third skill ये भी बैठता है वो shard
At this
का.
point for 9Pandas, it's just a matter of don't drop the ball, right? If you play tight, if you don't get caught
फिर
off
किसका
guard,
है?
you save each
Sonic
other.
Wave
as
में
they have
first
so far.
skill.
They should be able to ride this one to a W, and Liquid
नहीं
understands this.
Sonic
They
Wave
know, we
में
have to
first
kinda
skill
catch them
बैठ
by
रहा है
surprise.
उसका.
They're gonna go
मतलब
for an
Sonic
immediate
Wave मारेगा तो
swarm here
सबको
and try
first
to
skill.
see if they can intercept 9Pandas full reset. Obviously, Queen of Pain out of mana will have to go all the way back to base, and Liquid trying to get an opening on maybe. It's just hard.
He's a hard kill. I don't know if you can.
एक
He's a
बार
9-second
scepter देखना
BKB now
क्या
as well
है?
on Miro. I feel like your lineup just flat out doesn't kill this hero when he's BKB'd. Even if Terrorblade is laying into him, as long as he's banging the drums, as long as they have all their heals,
नहीं नहीं.
Greaves.
How far we've come. If you told me that you'd be saying this in a cast, banging his drums is going to keep him alive. What a stupid thing to say, but it's very relevant in this game. Terrorize or torment, whatever the hell this thing's called. The building is dead. Aghanim Shard goes to the Beastmaster now, so his Hawks will have Dive Bomb, which only roots now, right?
250 damage and a 2-second root, pretty nifty. Could make for an interesting play against the Oracle. Maybe we can catch him off guard and root him as he's coming in to try to save a core, but more likely is just going to be a 5v5 static fight where everything will be cast and the side of 9Pandas will try to overpower it all.
Yeah, we've been seeing this a lot in this patch where one team gets an early advantage, they're able to starve out basically the whole map, and if you're able to do that, you get more wisdom runes on average, and of course the bounties in terms of the gold, huge discrepancy. As Kiyotaka just goes straight in, gets that last tier 4, now focusing on the Ancient. Scream of Pain is there, so he'll still have that shield rune. He's gonna get stunned outright. Zai with a nice Ravage. Kiyotaka at half HP, but able to get off that BKB as the roar expended just for Mickey. Zai now basically out of mana. As Kiyotaka looking for a nice Sonic Wave, clips him, kills out Tidehunter, no buyback at all, as Mickey now gets off the Sunder, the False Promise a little bit early, might have to fall back to the base as this runs out. Nisha will not have that for himself. And the Ancient targeted by all the creeps right now. Boundless Strike is there, but Kiyotaka and company able to finish off Mickey just before he steps into the fountain. Kiyotaka still relatively low, kind of baiting everybody in as the Splitters continue to mount, but they can just focus down to the Ancient, and that is it for game number 1. 9Pandas, very impressive game number 1.
Yeah, great game from them. We talked about pre-game how the deciding factor in this game was going to be how they handled the Tide. They did a good job still finding their farm on the PL. I think that bottom move where they get the tier 1 tower and get 4 kills really set the stage for them to get across one of the most difficult times in this game. And they start getting up all their auras, they start getting tons of AoE teamfight damage through the Queen of Pain, and the PL just had a wonderful time, really, after what could have ended up being a really good Liquid start. They kind of neutralized it.
It's kind of weird because Ramses didn't really have to do that much this game, right? Like if you look at his scoreline, 3-1 and 12, Kiyotaka was very active, 13-1 and 9, all over the place, creating so much space. Ramses was super farmed at the end of the game, but he didn't really have to fight that often. He wasn't really pressured much from Liquid, and yeah, just a tough game 1 for them.
And Queen of Pain seems like it seems like kind of sleeper how much damage it's doing. You're not necessarily noticing it, but at the end of this game, 54,000 damage done by the Queen of Pain, and more than any 2 other cores in his team combined. So what a standout game from Kiyotaka here.
Yeah, so 9Pandas take game 1. Can Liquid force a game 3? We'll find out soon.
Yes, we will. Thank you, Suns fan. Wow, I really thought Liquid were doing pretty well in that game, and then one bad fight, and 9Pandas just never seemed to stop. Did I miss something?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I think Liquid was doing pretty freaking well in this game, but then they went for this one very confident high ground push, and from there it kind of slipped away. Like, they had this Aegis, they went high ground on the bottom side. I think Hellraiser's got, oh, I said Hellraiser's got the 9Pandas.
Yeah.
9Pandas got like 4 or 5 kills in that fight, and completely came back from that. In the end, like, the draft just becomes too strong. You got this Queen of Pain damage kicking in, PL's getting his 4th or 5th item, and all this Chen auras.
Yeah, the Lesh really didn't deal with these PL illusions that much. Like, once they had all the aura items, PL kind of was just the boss of this game, and we saw that Terrorblade versus PL matchup. Terrorblade just doesn't really do anything to this hero.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, in the end, like, Leshrac counters PL in some ways, but when PL has like this 54th item, he just gets too tanky. And once again, as I think I said before the game, these Chen auras are really annoying for Leshrac. You get all of these auras that make your heroes naturally tankier, and it takes so long to get any kill.
Yeah. I think it's also like really hard when you're playing this Lesh and you're forced to kind of come bot and take these fights, and your supports just like aren't that strong. So as soon as 9Pandas would like rotate a hero back to counter their move, then they just die on heroes. Like they had a very Liquid-esque draft where that's not going so well for them, but they're still upkeeping net worth on cores, which is how they were able to kind of mount that like high ground push in the first place. But it all falls apart when they make one mistake.
Yeah, for sure. Once again, I think to highlight, like, I think the drafting for Pandas just worked out so beautifully with the Beastmaster first pick, and once again, like, actually the Queen of Pain last pick, like, it worked out really, really well. Like, there were so many heroes being banned out, it was hard to find like a fitting last pick that is also fine to be blind pick. But the Queen of Pain worked out really well, and just punched him.
Did a hell of a lot of damage. Here's a question, Peter.
What do you got?
I see, as a pos for Enjoyer.
Okay.
I see Chen, I see PL, I see Beastmaster, I see a lot of units. My mind is saying Echo Slam. That's what I'm thinking.
You want an Earthshaker?
This hero needs to be fixed. It shouldn't be possible to have that many things in one place without an Echo Salami happening. What's going on with this hero? Where's Earthshaker?
I mean, they could bust it out. I don't think the hero's that poor, but they're sticking to their guns. They're sticking to what's worked for them so far, and that's not a bad strategy. So
yeah, better than my strategy. Yeah. Anyway, all right.
You want to go backstage and suggest a shaker to them?
Yeah.
I'll try that, Storm. That sounds like a great idea. All right. DHL Man, portrayed by our beloved Sir Action Slacks, is embroiled in quite the predicament. Let's catch up on the story now.
This time, with subliminal messaging and dark magic, the Sideshop Man hopes to take advantage of the unaware DHL Man and his hard-working colleagues.
Dota is perfect. Major does not need to be saved. Nothing's wrong. 40%. It's okay to keep working. It's okay to keep working. Remember.
It's 2 o'clock. Time to get back to work.
Goodbye. Thank you, Ice Cream Man. We love you.
It's okay.
Yeah! This guy. Get out of here, bro. Aren't you supposed to be a break?
As long as I keep him working in the simulation, he will never be able to stop my plot.
Everybody.
Finally, you have been dispelled and I may speak to you once more.
What do you mean? Also, your voice is super weird. That is not how I expected you to sound, at all.
The new frontiers need saving. Sideshop Man wants all the wisdom runes for himself. You must stop him. It's up to you now. Remember.
Another Steam update. Okay. Oh, countdown's gonna take forever. Shit, I thought I locked the door. Okay, this is fine. I just need to get out of here as soon as possible. My glorious plan is still good to go.
He must have some kind of plan or another safe house somewhere. I gotta find him. We need to stop him. Well, looks like we're going to Berlin. Is Berlin like 40% bigger now? I could use a warp key. There's no time. Yeah, there's always time for a kebab. Oh no! I'm too late!
Yeah, you can check out more on ESL.gg/DHL. And don't forget, you can enter a competition there where you could win tickets to the next ESL One event. Talking of our event here, that is the end of Game 1 of this first series. And there will be a second game coming up just after this break. Don't go away.
Team Liquid just got 2 tickets to Stack City. I got Boxy and I got Zai, here to play a little game. Although, is it a game or is it an actual test of your Dota skill? You have 3 opportunities to stack. How many camps can you get? And what heroes will you choose to do it? You'll be level 6 and you'll have 5,000 gold. Zai, what hero are you picking?
I'm just gonna play Phoenix.
Phoenix! Ooh, that's a good one, okay. Boxy, what's on your mind?
I think I'm playing Nagasaya.
Okay. He has faith in his micro. All right, you got 10 seconds. Get ready. He's got his control group set up. He's aggroing, he's pushing, he's doing it. Zai, Icarus diving, Sunray.
I fucked up.
Okay, I see at least 1 camp stacked for you.
I got 1.
You got 2. You got 2.
3.
Oh no, dude. I could have done
You
better.
got 4.
I could have done better with just a range there.
The mirror images are out. They're swimming along.
They need to have like a certain distance.
They do. You need to make sure you get the times right. Oh, we're getting ambitious. We're getting real ambitious now. Oh, close, but no cigar.
We lost a couple stragglers on the way.
You did. As long as 1 creep from the camp remains, then I count it. So that was another. Would you get another 4?
No, I just got 2 this time.
Boxy.
I stacked 1 camp.
That was your opportunity for a comeback, Boxy.
And I slept the camp so it wouldn't run back.
All right, 52 seconds. Let's go. What do we got?
Oh shit.
Those are. Wait, are you telling me the clicks of frustration actually did better than your normal run?
No, I got 2 at least.
Okay.
I just got 1. I just did it perfectly.
How did you do so good on the first one?
I don't know.
I got 2 at least. I might have gotten this one.
This moment of truth for something that likely does not matter. Did you get the other camp?
So I realized the camps have to be in fog so that I can move command there without move commanding on the creeps, like easier. But I warded all my camps. Yeah, I did get it.
Okay.
So I got 3.
Not
okay,
bad.
That was pretty
Not
good.
bad. I guess so. High score for 1 run was 4. High score for you was 3. Pretty close.
I'm doing it again. So I have 1 more run.
1 more run?
I don't care what he says.
Double or nothing? Let's go. This is the 5 campers. I'm feeling it.
It's not even
No,
close.
it's not. You didn't even go for the sunray on the other one. You almost had the timing.
The thing is, I don't know what happened.
This one didn't stack.
What did happen?
What just happened?
No, I got 0.
This one was like so far out. I don't even know what I got.
I think maybe...
I got 0. I think they blocked it or something.
I mean, I think they kind of blocked themselves or something. Or I'm just coping. I don't know.
I got
But
1.
I did it.
I got 2.
I got 0.
You heard it here first. Get ready for Berlin Major Boxy Naga Siren. Coming to you soon.
You love it, you wear it.
Wear your passion. Share your passion. Wherever, whenever. Gaming is a lifestyle. Get your merch at shop.eslgaming.com.
Game 2 coming up between Liquid and 9Pandas. 9Pandas with a sort of mini comeback, I suppose, taking advantage of a blunder that Liquid made, going high ground in the first game, have taken a 1-0 lead in this series. Remember, loser goes home, winner goes through to the grand final against Game and Gladiators, where 9Pandas, I'm sure, would be thirsty for revenge. Do you think that's likely?
Yeah. What do you think? What do you think they're gonna adapt? Mr. EPD.
Well, I think Liquid will probably take first pick themselves, so
Yeah.
we'll probably just see a different draft in general.
I like what you said. That was also my first impression.
You are
First
correct.
idea.
They have taken first pick.
Yeah,
Right now.
and they actually banned Beastmaster themselves, which is very surprising.
Oh. Wait, do we know if they chose it or what? Whatever.
Oh,
It
they
doesn't
have
matter.
to get Alchemist or Medusa as a result.
Yeah. So, still interesting though. I guess like because they see the first ban on the Doom, they, as you said, they know they're gonna get the Alk or the Dusa, and they prioritize those over those heroes. And of course, Mira on the Beastmaster last game was looking pretty good. So they're banning their own comfort, but once again, if the other team can also play an SC hero the same way you do, then you might just ban it and not trade it.
What would you take, Alchemist or Medusa?
Alk or Medusa, that's the next interesting thing is Pandas going to leave both of them in, because that makes sense.
Yeah, they do.
You are correct.
So they're leaving both in. So this is really curious. I'm not sure if Liquid got Duce at this tournament. I'm not sure. I know they've
played it twice, I think, at least on Mickey.
In the group stage? Or
yeah.
Okay. Well, their Alchemist is looking insanely strong. I think their last Alchemist has owned every single time.
I also think you don't want to give Ramses the Alchemist on the other side, so I feel like it's probably the better pick. 9Pandas hasn't played much Medusa themselves either, but it's risky. You know, you're down a game. Do you want to lose to this snake lady?
Yeah, it's not obvious, but you know exactly. I think they take the Alchemist because you know that 9Pandas last game had first pick and they banned it, so they are not too keen on this hero themselves.
They didn't even take it. Wow.
And they just ignore it. Yeah, like Medusa completely ignore it. Like, do you take it now as Liquid? That's a funny thing. Bounty TB. Pandas again loving this bounty as a hero. They value it so highly.
They could probably just pick a Lich here to protect their Alch. I think that was their previous sort of response to Terrorblade, because they know it's like the best carry matchup against Alchemist. Or they could take Medusa.
And they do. Oh my god, he's laughing. look at it. William is laughing so much. Enjoying himself.
Stupid hero, what can you do?
So this is interesting. So what kind of flexing potential do we have anyway? So 9Pandas, of course, they have the bounty on, so they can put it on the offlane or the position 4 role. If it is offlane, laning against the Alchemist, I think that would be insanely good for the bounty hunter matchup. But Liquid, of course, they have Duce and Alchemist. They probably play Alchemist, I would assume, on carry, mid, and Boxy. I would assume.
No. We don't need to see any 4 position.
Okay, no
Alchemist.
4. Okay.
They haven't played at this tournament.
Mid or carry.
Okay, they just do carry anyway. Okay. I mean, I think if they do that and the Medusa just goes strict offlane, then I think the bounty under offlane for 9Pandas is going to be really good against it. But we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
We haven't seen Medusa position 5. Could it be a support?
We saw it, yeah, right. Who did that? I forgot. Was it EG? There was one team in the lower bracket who actually did Medusa position 5.
I don't remember.
I don't remember.
Flexing so much, but that was a crazy game.
It was
like,
EG.
I think it was EG against Talon.
Was that the
That's right.
And that was like
AM mid and stuff?
Yeah, exactly. There was an insane amount of flexing, so it's not the average thing you would expect. Liquid banning out Darkseer and Techies, respecting the Techies from Pandas last game, and once again, he's a Grandmaster player on the hero. It makes a lot of sense to ban it out. Darkseer, also a highly contested offlane pick, was banned last series as well, and generally a very strong pick to close out the second stage on Pandas. Meanwhile, Silence banned so far, potentially protecting some... I'm hard to read what this is all about. I guess Silence just being a solid hero that protects some of the mid heroes the Liquid might want to pick. Once again, they have to probably blind pick their mid in this coming up stage. But they could double support as well, actually. No, never mind. I'm talking about an Alchemist User draft. They might just do position 4 and 5 in the second stage.
Well, with Liquid, if they want to flex this Medusa to offlane, like I know Zai likes playing it, and he would be happy to. We've seen Tundra play it, and they buy like this phylactery and stuff. They usually pair it with a really strong force support like Bounty. Obviously, they can't take it this game, but if they do want to put it there, I'd like to see some kind of like, I don't know,
Monkey?
support to just enable. Yeah, maybe.
Is it possible that like Roger would play the Bounty, or maybe it is just offlane Bounty, and they have Skywrath, which they've done yesterday twice?
I do think both those options are viable. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I think they will. I mean, Miro literally yesterday played 2 games of Bounty Hunter in a row. I think he just really feels a hero. And once again, I think that position 4, he has like 4 or 5 heroes that he's like really, really comfortable on.
Yeah.
The Techies, the Sky Mage. I'm missing something as well, but like he's like a small hero pool that is really, really, really focused out.
Antares?
So, yeah, Antares.
Skyroth, Techies, Bounty, Rubik, Pugna, and Ench this tournament.
Okay. Then the bounties in this pool like really high up as well, I guess.
Given that they lost both games yesterday where they picked this bounty, they must really believe in it to be picking it here. Are they just that certain?
I think they're certain that he could be laning against Alchemist potentially, and I think that matchup favors the Alchemist much, or favors the Bounty Hunter much more.
I think it's insanely good. I can tell. I think Bounty against Alchemist mid is completely unplayable for Alchemist, but I think on the nobody plays Bounty mid really except like Tundra 9. On the offlane should be really good as well. And I think, by the way, why 9Pandas also likes Bounty Hunter is one of Kiyotaka's special heroes, which is the Tinker. And they are one of the rare teams who play it, and Tinker Body, of course, being a really strong combo together. And they threatened this this pick to close out this stage or the next stage.
Stealing the Oracle. I didn't see this coming. What do you guys think?
Well, so I was curious already why Liquid like prioritizes so highly last game. Of course, Insane being an insane Oracle, and it did look pretty good. It's like they had good success with it. Like I think this game was still looking pretty good for Liquid for the most part. I'm not sure. Roger Oracle now. I mean, I'm not sure how. If he played yet this tournament, if he's like feeling really comfortable on it, it might just be a deny pick as you said, and might lead into some strong later pick and down the line to synergize with it. It doesn't really provide any lockdown to 9Pandas draft yet. They will have to look to pick some sort of lockdown. Shouldn't be too hard though, because they see what Liquid is going to pick in the next 2 picks.
Definitely think there's some deny pick going on.
Yeah, I think it's definitely a deny.
Oracle plus Alchemist is a pretty good combo.
Yeah.
He can heal during his ultimate.
It's actually very good. And Liquid stealing the Skywrath Mage. Okay, things are getting a little bit crazy here. That's kind of funny. So, I mean, that has to be position 4, right? That's going to be a Boxy
Skywrath definitely one of the best position 4s in the patch, I think, right now. So, if you're a Sky player, now's your time to shine.
Yeah. Looking pretty hot.
I'm kind of glad 9Pandas didn't take it as well, a little bit, just because when I see the Sky vs Medusa matchup, if it is a core Medusa, like, it does so little damage.
At some point, you don't do any damage anymore.
Yeah.
For sure. Also Liquid, by the way, they got this Alchemist Medusa. They didn't ban like any hero that's specifically good against the Medusa. There is still, I mean, oh no, I'm saying this in they always pick TV on Pandas. Never mind, missed my thoughts. I was thinking what she was like anti-match appeal, but obviously it makes no sense. This TV's already picked up.
Yep.
But now,
why don't they just play a mid anti-mage? Some Chris Luck anti-mage.
Like Chris Luck? I think that series is just a very special one. I don't think you get to see that too much. Pangolier. Okay.
Pangolier.
Okay, that means they're committed to Alchemist on the safe line.
Yeah. So
Pango mid, so Pandas could potentially take the, you know, if they want a new offlaner, which I feel like they're pretty happy with the bounty.
Yeah, I mean, I guess there is the possibility that Alchemist does go +3 on Zai and Dusa does go +1 on Mickey maybe. So that might be the last fixing. I would be really surprised if really just lock it in. I think that's at least what 9Pandas is thinking. But I do think that if they think the Alchemist goes position 1 no matter what, that the Bounty Hunter will just match up against it. He did it 2 times yesterday. The question is then what heroes do they take for Antares? Of course, this hero is still...
Yeah, right now they're basically decided, like, do they have 2 supports or do they have 2 cores right now? You know, is bounty support or core?
Yeah.
And so this pick will be very telling.
Or actually, I mean, they could also just pick the mid right here. He sees the match on the Pangolier mid. It could be flexed awfully, but realistically, it's just going to be Anisha Pangolier. Like, it's no reason to believe that it goes to any other role, I think. So Pandas could also just pick something casual like an Ember Spirit or a hero that punishes Pangolier a little bit more.
Tiny? He likes his Tiny.
Yeah, he likes his Tiny, right? It's not particularly good against the Dusa in the end, because once again, I mean, Dusa is picked in this draft here and not addressed at all with any mana burn or something like that.
Yeah, I was going to ask, like, do you think that they're lacking damage right now to kill Medusa?
Yeah.
So do you have to go for something with Diffusal Burn, or do you just go for something, like, overwhelmingly strong?
I mean, I'm not sure. This new Dusa hero, the mana shield is just too strong. I'm not sure if this hero dies if you don't have any mana burn. Like, I'm not sure if this TV can ever chew through a Dusa or anything like that.
I feel like you just need to kill everyone else first. And
that was certainly what they hinted at in the interviews about, we're not scared of Medusa, we'll just kill everyone else and then worry about Medusa. Whether they can pull that off, of course, remains to be seen, but that seems to be their approach.
Batrider. Okay, so this is... I know that Miro plays Batrider too, so this is going to be a flex between Kiyotaka and Miro. I do think because Batrider sees... they saw the Pangolier mid, they're just going to probably put it mid. It's obviously having a decent matchup against the Pangolier. And I gotta say, I like the pick. Like, it's a pretty free Batrider game. This hero only struggles when there's like a bigger amount of lockdown in the enemy draft. And there's this new build that people love to rush Octarine on Batrider and skip like this BKB, which used to be the old build. And this game is completely unpunished. Like, he can dance around the enemy, spam his Napalm, spam his Flame Break, and yeah, looking like a really strong pick. I like it.
I love how sort of mysterious 9Pandas draft is. Like, I'm still, you know, we're still uncertain exactly where this Batrider's headed, and Liquid has to sort of blind pick their, you know, their next core, or, I mean, I don't even know what's going on with Liquid's draft either, but they need to blind pick their next hero and try to make sure that their lanes are going to be okay. But, you know, what do you pick against Bat?
Yeah, that's...
Right, that also maybe is okay versus bounty.
Yeah, I see your point. It makes a lot of sense. Like, it's not too obvious where the 9-Panda heroes goes. I mean,
could something like a Legion Commander do something with the Purge there? But there's really nowhere to fit it into their draft is the issue.
For Liquid, it would have really good synergy with the Skywrath Mage, but it is just very hard covered by the Oracle, of course, if he's in position to counter that duel with the False Promise.
Do you feel like Insania has his hero yet?
That's the thing. I think also that, like, you look at these 4 Liquid heroes, you're like, there's no Insania hero in yet, right? You don't know, of course, how they scrimmed, what they tried, if they are ready to play like, some Alchemist 5 or something like this, or the Dusa 5 like we saw in another series. So
Liquid are usually very confident to do that. Like, they're like, oh, we picked Doom. Oh, we're flexing it to +4. Like, I think they like to just... They have very competent cores who trust each other a lot. Like, Mickey will just take random heroes to the safe lane sometimes. If any team's going to flex and catch you by surprise at the end of a draft, it's usually Liquid.
Yeah.
They ended up banning Disruptor and Clockwork, which I think are to protect this, not just the Bat Rider, but also the Bounty Hunter. These two heroes are particularly good at finding this Bounty Hunter who likes to, he likes to be a little bit farther than he should be, generally speaking, and try to, you have to catch him and punish him.
Yeah, exactly. As you said, like both Bounty and Bat Rider, they love dancing around the enemy team fight, spamming their spells from distance and slowly poking the enemy down. So Disruptor would have been perfect against that. Clock also against Bounty, not so much against the Bad Rider, of course. Meanwhile, Liquid, they're banning the Queen of Flame, which you saw last game pop off, and the Tinker. I mean, it makes sense. The Tinker here with the Bounty Hunter could have been such a nuisance. This is why it's so annoying to play against this 9Pandas team when they have this flex open. You have to think about so many bans. Now there's still maybe some offlaners that you're concerned about, that Miro might pick for his last pick. And now it's time to shine. 11 seconds left. Wow. It's just Shadow Demon.
Well, that gives you some save against the Bat. That's what you were wondering about, no?
Yeah, so Shadow Demon is very, very good against Bat Rider. The Shard continuously, you can buy the Shard and continuously purge one of your heroes, and that counters Bat Rider super hard.
Who buys a Shard these days, Stormer?
Okay, you can take
you
it from
kill the
Stormtrooper.
Architect and
I'm sorry.
It also purges a lot of Oracle spells as well. Reduce track.
Yeah, you constantly purge it. Yeah, that's true, actually. Constantly purge the healing. And just a Storm Spirit to snatch it up.
This Storm Spirit is a bit of an issue for these supports. I think it's very easy for 9Pandas to now start, given Vision by Bat or Bounty Hunter, find Shadow Demon, Skywrath. These heroes will just explode instantly.
And they have the save just in case, Storm Spirit gets a little ambitious and, makes a mistake, which these mid players are kind of put into that position. They have to take the risks for their team to try and start these good fights. But having, we saw Silencer kind of back up Storm in the past. Oracle in the same way can protect the Storm and enable him to play as aggressive as he wants to be.
I like the Storm Spirit as well. Like, it's good against Pangolin and SD. Gotta say though, Sky Mage is two-sided, of course. Like, you can jump the Sky Mage and kill the Sky Mage instantly, but it's very two-sided. If you manage to get the silence off on the Storm Spirit, then you might just die instantly on the Storm, in that burst of the ulti and the what's it called, Ancient Seal.
Yeah. Are you worried at all about this Alchemist landing against Bounty Hunter?
I mean, it's a +4 bounty, right? It's a +3 Bad Rider and a +4 bounty. So I'm not sure how much the Alchemist really gets threatened by the Bounty Hunter. It might just be a fine lane. I think it will just be a farming fast Bad Rider cutting some waves maybe, or and Alchemist farming safe camps.
I mean,
I like both drafts.
Let's go Dota.
Last comment, Alex.
They have their hyper comfort Alchemist, and they have the most broken hero of the patch, Medusa. I think Liquid are smiling right now. I think they are very confident.
All right, well, we'll find out whether that confidence turns into victory. To you, Sunsfan and Synderen.
Thank you, my liege. Sunsfan here with Synderen. Game number 2 of the lower bracket finals of the Berlin Major. Medusa offlane somehow is not a weird thing anymore. I don't know how this is the real world, Synderen. Your thoughts?
I mean, the whole way this first phase developed was just interesting, right? They first picked Alchemist, and then they still ended up getting a phase closing Medusa, which obviously, have to keep in mind, is kind of telegraphed. Yeah, we've seen support Medusa played by one team here or there, but for the most part, this hero has been a core, and I gotta say, I kind of like what 9Pandas are bringing to the table here to try to deal with this lineup. You and I, we've cast some Bounty Hunter games, especially from EG, that turn into absolute stomps, and I feel like Antares has some really good friends this game. He can play with Bat, he can play with the Storm, he can go through the gates and find impact in the other lane because that's an Oracle that has a root there together with Terrorblade meta.
Agreed.
And for Liquid, I think a lot of what you need to be looking for here is how much can Boxy get done on the Skywrath. It's their only real silence against the Storm last pick. Gonna walk into them here, Reflection.
Yeah, Insania pushed back onto the high ground, wanted to get to the low ground, but will not find it, and he will die. First blood to Kiyotaka. That is not who you wanted on if you're a Liquid fan.
That is the dream start for 9Pandas. There's no one they would rather have this on than the Storm. We already established it's a good Storm game, so if he starts popping off, could be trouble for Liquid. And there's actually a kind of niche interaction I'm curious to see if we get to see in play here. Now with the change to Fate's Edict, there could be some plays where you can Fate's Edict the Storm and then he jumps in, right?
Oh, yeah.
You can actually protect him from the Skywrath by just throwing this out prior to the jump, and Kiyotaka will have like 2 to 3 seconds of magic immunity when he's jumping in.
I mean, you remember the old Repel Storm Spirit.
Yep.
Omni Knight Storm used to be very strong when Repel was literally just a BKB, which this essentially is now for the most part. I mean, BKB only gives magic resist, not technically in debuff immunity, so.
You could argue this is almost better than BKB in certain situations, right? Because it's 100% magic damage resistance, and on level 4 Fate's Edict, that's 5-second duration. You do have a Dispel, though, on Liquid, which is an X factor in that. You have Demonic Purge, but you need to be able to get the cast animation off. You need to be in position as the Shadow Demon. And, you know, as much as we talk about it, maybe we'll not even see the Edict used in that way. I'm just curious to see if Pandas try to make use of that change in that way. Otherwise, like PPD pointed out, it's a great failsafe. If you go a bit too deep on Storm, as long as you have mana to reposition, your Oracle's going to get you home safe.
Indeed, top lane. And I have to say, I know a lot of talk about Medusa as we're going to see the Banish come out onto Miero. I think the most underrated hero has been Bounty Hunter this entire patch.
I would agree
He
with
has
that.
been so impactful in basically every single game. Full concoction onto Miero. He'll walk it off as a blood grenade onto both heroes from Antares. He gets the stun off thanks to the Shadow Walk as well.
Free.
And we'll see if they can clean up Insania. They will not. He finds cover of the tier 1 tower, but still heavy damage done to him. And
pretty uncharacteristic to have this level 1 flame break, right? But
yeah,
it's not the best right now. Still gets a little bit of pressure out with it. And for Liquid's side, you know, how many games have we seen them with this Mickey Alchemist just popping off? It's obviously the hero you're going to be looking at here together with the offlane Zai Medusa, which we have not really. I think this might be their first time playing this offlane on Zai, so some changes there. And also begs the question, how is Liquid's team dynamic going to be in this game? I would say the way their team strategies usually works would be with a quite different archetype of hero for this player in particular. It's not a matter of whether Zai can play this, because Zai can play literally everything, but it definitely changes the way their lineup works in essence, and a lot of what's coming out has to come from Nisha, has to come from Boxy while Alchemist is farming. And with Kiyotaka off to a head start mid, you would imagine that he's going to win this lane.
Yeah, I mean, Pango versus Storm, never that fun as the Pango player. But we'll see, as Mickey has to concoct, but it looks like he might just drop first. Gets up a lot of damage onto Antares, so it might be a trade, and it is. But still, the bigger kill going the way of 9Pandas. And he's getting solo XP on the bat, too.
Don't try this skill build at home, guys. Nobody builds bat like this. It doesn't have sticky on level 2.
Yeah, that's very strange.
That is so bizarre to watch. Like, I don't know if I've ever seen this before. He's gonna surely skill it now.
They're gonna try to turn this around to the Ramses. The blood grenade slowing him down as well. More arcane bolts to come, and the right click is enough. Boxy, big kill on the Ramses. So both position ones dying in the laning stage very early. And obviously meta being down is, I don't know how much duration it had left, but that's a pretty big deal as well. All right, who has a better time coming back? I feel like Terrorblaze picked literally every game. Feels like the safest carry to pick in this patch. And Alchemist, obviously, as we can see, Boxy suiciding there to the tower.
That's a good question. Who comes back easier between Terrorblade and Alchemist? I mean, I guess it depends how bad it looks, because Alk might be the faster overall just net worth acquirer, but he also needs more gold to be effective. So if he loses the lane hard and has to play catch up for 10 minutes, he might just miss his timing entirely, whereas Terrorblade's kind of uncapped as a hero, right? Eventually he'll get there. Forced to use the ones there.
Yeah. Yeah, and the other thing, of course, with Alchemist is in terms of like comparing the old one, you only have level 2 Grieval's Greed. So if you get up to a worse start, in theory, you're not going to be able to catch up as much in the mid game without having those big stacks as Kiyotaka. Gonna go on to Nisha potentially. Swashbuckle's there though. See Antares just biding his time. Looks like they'll just trade the water runes.
Miro still hasn't skilled Sticky Napalm. He's 0-1-2 on bat.
Huh.
Maybe I've missed a game or two here or there that this hero has been playing the offlane this tournament, but I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that this is not common. Now he's finally going to get the Napalm stack up, and doesn't have the mana right now to really put any pressure on Mickey. If he could somehow magically get 500 mana now, Mickey would be in a lot of trouble, but he's obviously going to be stabilizing just fine for now until Miero will be getting his arcane boots. They could give him the healing lotus that Bounty is rocking right now if they want a burst of mana for a kill, but so far Antares will hold on to that one himself. Glyphing to put some pressure here. They might actually go for a dive.
There, Roger came in through the as well as the focus now onto Mickey. Fortune to end. Trying to set something up.
क्या मिस किया मैंने?
Placed onto Miero onto that tier 1 tower. And Sienna continue to get stacked to the shadow poison. They do find the kill on Mickey as Kiyotaka died in the mid lane. While this is happening, Miero drops as well as Insania looks to be the last one to fall. So lots of kills across the board, and the one that we weren't able to watch was that mid lane. As Roger continue to take pressure now. Boxy out of mana, but pops the wand. Another right-click or arcane bolt should do it. Can he get the vision is the question. Eats a tree, trying to deny himself to the creep, and he does. The Wild Wind comes in the clutch as Antares wanting to kill off Boxy. He's going to take a flank from the south side as Mira. After all this happens. Antares slowing down Mickey a bit, but one more right-click will do it. And finally, Mickey gets to kill his name. And I don't even know how to break this down because we missed the kill in the mid lane.
How did Kiyotaka die? Okay, Skywrath rotation. I was like, there's no way Nisha solo killed this.
Yeah, okay.
All right,
it all makes sense
impact
now.
from Boxy. He ganks mid and comes top after.
Concoction coming.
Got out of the acid spray. He's completely fine. So, yeah, we were talking about,
Nisha early, or I guess the early rolling thunder before Kiyotaka hits his 6.
So much of the success from Liquid in this game has to come from the Skywrath mage Boxy, and well, he's been delivering so far.
You have to be a bit careful. It does have Swashbuckle. Doesn't have the Arcane Rune anymore because Antares just takes it under his nose. Will get the bounty, so able to get a little bit of HP. Let's see if Antares can actually catch up right now. Has the Blood Grenade as well. The question is, does he have the damage side? Yes, indeed they do. Fortune's End from the other side. Roger came to play as well.
Yes, the
Big
classic
kill.
Oracle ganking in the enemy jungle minute 6. See it all the time.
I mean, this is a high action-packed game already, Cinderin.
Roger is playing Oracle like it's Ench.
And with all this movement, Ramses is left alone, which for a Terror Blade against, especially against the Skywrath Mage, that can eat through that HP quite quickly. A bit scary, but Antares now making his way back.
Yeah, and Zai is pretty low on mana down here. He has the Lotus and 7 stick charges though.
The Wisdom Rune though. Antares will get it. And that is big. Boxy knows. Taking the Watcher as well. And the other Wisdom Rune is completely uncontested right now, which you would think 9Pandas should be able to get as well, as Boxy's going to be spotted. There's the zip in from Kiyotaka, set up by the stun from the bounty. A nice kill for 9Pandas again. They are just so active right now.
Another game where I feel like there's just so much incredible value being generated by Bounty Hunter. Like, he's giving them all of the information. They have some amazing pairings with the hero. Both Bat and Storm really thrive when they have information all the time. And for Liquid, you have to recognize that their lineup, in essence, is pretty slow. It's offlane Dusa and carry Alk. They need time.
Oh, Ancient Seal set up with the Rolling Thunder, but he puts him on the other side of the cliff. Unfortunate, the high ground advantage now for Kiyotaka, who can just zip up. Very unfortunate for Liquid, as Insania potentially getting caught at now. Purifying Flames eventually going to heal him up a bit. Blood Grenade not enough. As Nisha and Boxy trying to turn this around onto the ganking Oracle, who will drop to the deck. And we're going to see the first lasso of the game, but the concoction is coming. Mickey getting burnt, but will survive the brunt of the damage from the Bat Rider.
And Mickey going for a really greedy build-up here, right? It's Brown
Ares
into
is back
Radiance.
again. Concoction's coming, though. It's going to be a full duration one from Mickey. And Antares is going to take heavy damage and likely fall. Indeed, he does. So good kill from Boxy. As Zai's going to pop the Stone Gaze in the bot lane. Just constant action as Nisha actually TPs as well with the double damage. He's going to find Kiyotaka, gets off the shield crash. Doesn't have that much mana, though. And ult's still on cooldown for a bit more. Ends up being a wasted rotation. But
well,
the other way. He doesn't have mana to even get away now. Pops that wand, Swashbuckle. It's a baby one, though. Onto the high ground he goes with the shield crash. Somehow lives. Kiyotaka just living on the edge. My goodness.
It's like, oh, wait, I need a neutral item. Arcane Ring seems nice right now. I was running around with the token. If he had used that earlier, he would have killed the Nisha Pango, I think. But a little bit too slow to get that item. And Zai now close to the Phylactery. We've seen this played primarily by Tundra this tournament.
Yeah.
The offlane Dusa with Phylactery, very strong. Constant strong harassment from the Mystic Snake. You get a lot of tankiness on this hero with this item as well. It's just an all-around feels good.
Yeah, and usually we see it on Bounty Hunter as well because of the track interaction, but he is opting to go for the Solar Crest first. We'll see if he ends up changing his mind. Obviously, once you hit that level 6 and you're able to get huge influx of gold, depending on if you're able to actually get those kills, could change his mind for sure. Insania, they're going to spot the bounty. You get the disruption. Nisha with the Rolling Thunder. This looks to be an easy cleanup for Liquid, although they missed the second roll proc. But Roger actually trying to help out, so they might find 2 kills instead of 1, as Antares actually walks away, so Roger will be the one to fall instead.
Yeah, Kiyotaka not interested in getting involved there. Understandable.
Oh, another.
Drops the shield rune.
And Terry's just being a constant annoyance. We'll take the Ancient Seal, but obviously no Mystic Flare to kill him during the TP. Kiyotaka will get gone on a bit by Nisha. Will zip away though.
And while all this is happening, Mika is farming up a Storm here. He has 4 points in Acid Spray, just farmed a double camp combo, if you will, in the top half. Miero can't really dive him, doesn't have enough mana right now to go for a kill. Get a Lotus Flower, that will help.
Nisha initiated on by Kiyotaka. They have the stun after the fact from Antares with the Fortune's End as well. Swashbuckle gives him a little bit of distance. Ancient Seal onto Kiyotaka, but he has enough mana for that last zip and right click. Down goes Nisha. Big kill for 9Pandas. That was actually pretty close to not finding it. As Nisha looks okay with the idea of dying there, apparently.
I guess I could have died worse.
Yeah, it could have been worse.
Could have died another time. Zai putting pressure bot. Looks to be getting this tier 1 tower. The side of 9Pandas not interested in defending this, so Zai with the phylactery. Going to be approaching his seemingly nice boxy.
Just a casual power steal.
Yapzor cosplay there.
Yeah, pretty much. Shout out to him.
Bailiff Discord on the way for Zai.
Big zipping on the Mikke, who's out of mana as well. He has the Sacred Relic. A TP is coming to try to save him, but that's going to boom! Disruption at the last moment, but you'd think he's still dead. Indeed he is, and Insania might be going down as well. This is going to be a track kill now, and this is where it starts to get a bit scary for Liquid, but they're going to rotate in. Kiyotaka going to take the brunt of the damage from Nisha. Gets off the stun with the Rolling Thunder, connecting onto 2. Another zip will avoid it, but no, gets stunned again. Do they have the damage to actually finish him off? False promise on the Kiyotaka. He will likely live as a result. Gets the stun onto Boxy. They're going to clean that one up pretty easily. And Teres, they don't have the vision for him. Miero just TP's out. Kiyotaka, though, he doesn't have that much mana. Zip away, attempting to TP out, and he will.
Really important for him that Pango still doesn't have that diffusal. Makes such a huge difference in this fight that Nisha has gone for a build that leads to a slow diffusal blade. He went Treads and Orb of Corrosion in this matchup, so still needs about 1,000 gold to get to that key item. Mid lane, he might get Lasso.
They're thinking about it, but with Boxy's presence, thinking, oh, okay, Boxy just barely getting the kill on Antares there. Another Fortune's End. Okay, they're actually going to dispel the shield crash, which zip in from Kiyotaka. They still have the Lasso, but there's the disruption from Insania. Lasso, let's see if they actually want to use it. Finally they do, and they have the damage. It's actually a very easy kill on Nisha, but Mystic Flare into Miero. This will be a nice kill for Liquid. They need something out of this. They will get him. Boxy falls shortly after the Roger, though. It's Kiyotaka looking to clean everything up. Zai now left in a 1v2, but it is a Medusa. So do they have the damage to go through all of this mana shield? They're right-clicking him, not doing that much. Another Mystic Snake is coming up with that Phylactery in tow, but they drain his mana pretty nicely. Stone Gaze up in 2 seconds. They won't even bother trying. Jesus. This hero.
20.
Look at Zai's face. Like, yeah, I'm just playing Medusa.
He's still at 21s, so they weren't actually even close. Yeah. He got I think he got a 3-hero snake, so he got so much mana back there, and yeah. I mean, he stays alive, but Medusa's curse in a situation like this obviously doesn't really pose too much of a kill threat.
Insania gets the dust off. You can see Antares trying to get the second Wisdom Rune. Won't find it, though.
They were ready for that one.
Indeed. They come with numbers. And it's going to take them a while. Swashbuckle not really doing that much damage, and Insania nets himself the kill. But just the fact that they have to bring all these heroes for a bounty hunter, this is something that you will never hear me say ever again, because I've said the opposite all the other times, Cinderin. This hero right now is, in my opinion, so much more effective as a support. It is insane the amount of space that he creates.
Why would you never say that again?
Because I always prefer cores on every hero, if you remember.
That doesn't mean you think they're more effective, it just means you love to play core.
Just shut up.
Yeah,
okay. Okay, basically an even game, though, in terms of the net worth. Slight lead for 9Pandas. Of course, this is against an Alchemist. It's an Alchemist versus a bounty support, right?
Yep.
So you're going to see a trade-off of gold. Going to be a bit deceiving.
Yeah, overall, I would say being still in a gold lead 15 minutes in is a good look for 9Pandas, though. And also curious to see, because our frame of reference for offlane Medusa has been Tundra pick this hero and win in 20 minutes, right?
Yes.
How does this hero work when the game is even and you get to that point and you have these matchups. I'm curious to see if Zai can find this dominant impact that we saw from Tundra, because they definitely have not been off to the kind of starts that we've seen from Tundra. And a lot of those were also Bounty Medusa, right? Bounty was with the Medusa in lane and they were just crushing.
Yeah, that is fair. And Terry's going to get caught out. Dust is upon him.
He's fine.
Not going to go any further, though. So Diffusal finally online for Nisha, and he's still tracked up. As Terry's getting close to that Solar Crest. And the real question is, I was going to ask if Terrorblade was going to go for Diffusal, because we have been seeing that quite a bit.
They're going to go for it.
A big kill. Kiyotaka focusing now on Mickey with Roger's help. Mickey is going to get some TP support, healing up, and nice disruption. Looks like they won't be able to finish the job. Instead, Roger will take a tumble. And they lose the Bat Rider on the other side as well. So Liquid cleaning up in this last couple minutes.
Big TP from Insania. Very, very important for Liquid to save their Alk there. That would have been such a huge kill. I guess in the midst of all this chaos, though, we haven't really talked much about Terrorblade. There's one of those in the game, too.
Because he's in every single game.
Ramses is just farming, and I believe his Manta is now complete.
Are you surprised he did not go Diffusal? Because we've seen it even in games not against Medusa. They don't really have any other hero that can buy it. They just don't care.
I actually, this might sound weird because he's against Dusa. I like the fact that he didn't buy it, because I think the job of Terrorblade this game is to counter Alk, not to counter Dusa. I think he should just itemize to be absolutely stupidly tanky with stats and just stand his ground and deliver, rather than look to assassinate Dusa's mana shield. It's an offlane Dusa. It's unlikely that Zai will become like a carry with this build. He'll do some meaningful damage, but it's still going to be the Alk that is your primary issue.
Okay, he's going Ags after Veil now.
Yeah.
It's a very interesting build. So you're going to have, is that still the same Mystic Snake Petrifies?
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Guess there's some decent synergy there with the Alk.
Yeah, well, Swashbuckle does physical damage, right? So that's the damage amp for that as well. That's pretty cool. Kiyotaka, Ancient Seal into Mystic. My goodness. Liquid find the damage easily.
Had no protection. Completely alone in the top half, gets spotted out by a ward.
Now, the question is, are you reliant on the Oracle the whole game, or do you need to, I mean, you're going to have to buy a BKB, I assume, at some point, or some sort of a Dispel, I would assume.
I feel like you might not even need the Oracle as long as you have vision from the Bounty Hunter and the Skywrath. I think it's the Skywrath silence that's the big problem right now. Eventually, you would imagine there might be a Hex coming out from Zai, but that's quite a while away.
Good damage. Spotted out.
Purge him out here.
Dust. Yeah, purged off. But Roger got the False Promise himself. This is going to buy him some time. We'll see if they want to TP in or anything like that.
I think he might live. He has 2 Lotuses.
Close. Ooh. All right. Just barely living.
Well, if you want to die, don't use a healing Lotus next time.
Zai, he gets initiated on by Kiyotaka. Still has that Stone Gaze, but can't use it because he's lassoed up at half mana. Finally, the Stone Gaze goes off, but now that he's out of mana, very little HP to work with. Disruption to keep him alive. Mystic Flare onto Ramses. This would be a huge kill for Liquid, and they find him in the trees. Another zipping from Kiyotaka, but they're going to have to back away. Ancient Seal preventing any initiation from Miero. Another beautiful swashbuckle from Nisha onto 2 as the mana drain is starting to be a problem. They're going to find the Bat Rider as well as 3 kills unanswered. Liquid potentially going for this tier 2 as well.
And a crucial mistake in that fight from 9Pandas. They tried to kill Medusa.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. They know that, like, they let it through. They know this is going to be picked. They know it could be any position. They don't really counter it with any items. And then they initiate into it. I thought they were just going to ignore it the whole game, but it was the only hero in range. So now a 5K lead for Liquid. Again, they do have an Alchemist. I don't know what that means exactly, but
it means they're getting a lot of gold.
They are.
Yeah.
And I feel like the kills have definitely slowed down a bit for 9Pandas since the track has been online, actually. They haven't found as many as they did pre-track. I feel like he got so many kills level 4 as a bounty hunter, but Liquid have been doing a nice job of avoiding him.
It does seem to be where Bounty Hunter finds the most impact in the games that we've seen is those first 10 minutes. You can really feel his presence in the laning stage a lot more than you used to, but after that,
the Ancient Seal and a death again for Kiyotaka. Nice setup from Liquid by the gate.
They've done a really good job with the Skywrath and Shadow Demon, both saving and setting up kills with and against the Storm. Mickey will stun himself on the Tormentor. I'm not really sure what that was all about. Track.
Momentum #1. So
I say track, but now Shadow Walk will be available for Antares to use on allies with the Shard.
All right, you be on the lookout for that. Okay.
Yeah, as we've seen in this tournament, it's been used once.
I'm sure it's been used. We've noticed it once.
We've noticed it once. It hasn't been one of the most impactful shards for the most part.
I feel like it's good, though. There's no way.
Yeah, I would agree.
The opposite side, Liquid will take the Shard here as well.
The Shadow Demon one would be really good this game against the Bat Rider and the track, and they will get it. Okay. So now Demonic Cleanse available for Insania. 150 mana cost spell, 7 seconds, constantly cleanses. So that will help them a lot against Sticky Napalm, against the Bat Rider track, and it even heals.
Yep, okay, Lasso onto Nisha. They have the lockdown, they have the damage. 9Pandas is a good setup.
Finally, Kiyotaka has some help up here. He's been on an island for quite a while, get killed twice up here. This time they bring the numbers and they find the big pick the other way. Don't think they can really do damage to this tower. Terrorblade is still farming up. Ramses is the siege engine that they didn't bring. So they will just retreat to the jungle and farm up some more. Despite this good fight from Liquid mid, this still feels like a very even game. Alchemist was the big winner in it, of course. It's close now to AC. Be on the lookout for that.
That's a long zip. They want to kill Boxy. The Ancient Seal has been such an issue for Kiyotaka. He will get it off, but dies shortly after. Another good pickup from 9Pandas, although they lose Miero as Insania. Getting credit for that one. Kiyotaka very low mana. Does have to be careful. The Shadow Poison not giving the vision for Insania.
I might see him now.
Yeah, they're going to walk very close. The tree is planted by Kiyotaka. Shadow Poison, did that spot him? They're pinging it out, and now they know. The attempted zip TP. Oh, the Aghanim Scepter! It stuns him! And now Kiyotaka, out of mana, gets whipped into oblivion, looking for a deny on these pathetic mud golems, but will not find it. Nisha, in the meantime, getting off his Rolling Thunder.
Kiyotaka definitely did not account for that.
Aghanim Scepter Medusa. Goodness gracious.
I love the tree plant too. Like, Insania finds him, he's like, uh-oh. Just puts down a tree, it just gets poisoned anyway. Good kill for Liquid. Keeping ahead.
Yeah, and with that death, basically, Nisha and Kiyotaka are essentially even on net worth, which obviously from a Storm's perspective, feel like you need to be ahead of the Pango.
Pretty cool Zai stat there, by the way. Uh-oh.
And Terrace is dead. Nisha gets credit for that one. Onto the high ground, Mickey and Boxy go to the Radiant jungle. And Roche is available, and it's on the Radiant side. Another 2 minutes until night. Yep. Good minus armor from the Alk. Not sure if they have a Solar Crest. Oh, they do. Onto Boxy. Solar Crest, definitely an item that has been getting more and more popular as this patch progresses. So this Roche looks to be a freebie for Liquid. Do they give the Aegis to Mickey or Nisha is the question.
Or Zai.
Just kidding. Come on now.
Even in games with carry Medusa, you saw them not give the Aegis to the Medusa.
Yeah, indeed. It'll be Nisha, so Liquid maybe not resigned to go high ground at any point during this Aegis, because Pango's not exactly the hero to do that. And Mickey can still complete this eventual 6-item full slotted build.
I love the dagger that Zai's queuing up. I think it's really cool this game. He recognizes that he's mega tanky on the Medusa, so his job is going to be just flat out jumping in using Stone Gaze to force defensive cooldowns, and then his teammates can pile on them. It's like a really good idea here.
Yeah, force them to look at you. That hideous face. Not Zai, of course, he's quite beautiful.
Yeah.
The Medusa.
It's probably the reason he has barely played this hero. It's very ironic for this guy.
Yeah, it definitely does not scream Zai when you see Medusa. But adding more to his very large hero pool, I have to say.
Yep.
Of course, I don't think offlane Medusa will be a thing after the next patch. Just throwing it out there. Probably not what Valve intended. But teams are letting it through. Like, this could just be a ban.
I feel like they should buff it for like 1 hour just to see the community feedback.
Like micro patch.
Yeah, that's the only patch change. Medusa Mana Shield blocks more damage.
Oh, more damage?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, just for an hour, you know, see the community outcry. What the hell?
if you do that, then it does force the teams to actually ban it instead of continuing to let it through.
Fair.
But of course, 9Pandas, they are the team that has beat Medusa time and time again. I mean, they did let it through in a previous series in the playoffs, and they did lose.
Yeah, I think they're 3-1 against it right now.
Yeah, they've lost.
Storm Jump.
Okay, Insania is a great target, but a Rolling Thunder comes in. Ancient Seal to follow. Concoction on top of Kiyotaka, but the False Promise keeping him alive. Ramsey's just right-clicking Mickey, and there's the lasso to contain the Alchemist. Down goes Mickey. Big kill for 9Pandas, but they lose their Storm Spirit. Swashbuckle onto the high ground for Nisha. Another Ancient Seal, beautifully done, keeping this Bat Rider at bay. As Miero, he's going to get gone on again as Nisha actually blinks in to try to finish the job, and he'll do so successfully. Zai
is strong.
Yeah, he is untouched. This Medusa completely untouched and ignored as the Aegis was finally consumed, and Roger will be brought down by Boxy eventually. Double kill for him. So 3 for 2 as 3 cores total die, more so on the 9Panda side though.
Liquid are doing a really good job at mitigating Kiyotaka's impact in this game. That's another good jump on him. And sure, he does get Oracle ultied, but Roger wasn't able to use any more defensive spells and keep him alive. So even though he storm jumps out and TPs to base, he dies with False Promise in the fountain. He could have somehow stayed alive there after killing Shadow Demon. That would have been really good. But he didn't even kill SD. He actually had to leave him on 1% health, get out, and then SD died to other residual damage later.
But that is the hero you have to kill. I mean, from Liquid side, you have to kill the Oracle, right? So
yeah, Oracle and Storm are your #1 priority. Get rid of these heroes in the fights, and then you can stabilize after. And it's pretty straightforward for 9Pandas as well. You can clearly tell that they're on support hunt.
All right, Blink Dagger from Boxy, not going to save him in the end.
Very dead.
Track kill the way of 9Pandas.
Completely alone in that bottom area. Let's keep in mind that, I mean, this is a patch where kills already give a lot of gold. You're giving a level 2 track kill over to 3 heroes as well. That one might actually have been level 1. I think he just leveled up, so. But still, it is a big part of why 9Pandas aren't further behind. And honestly, this net worth gap between Terrorblade and Alchemist, I don't think it's big enough.
That's not big at all.
This is 2.5K minute 27.
I mean, they went head-to-head in that fight. I mean, there's a little help from supports. Yeah. It's not live.
Alk is never going to win with this net worth.
Terrorblade is ripping him a new one.
Not a chance. So you're really reliant as Liquid once again on the supports. You're reliant on Pango doing a good job with disarms and handling the storm so that your Alk can get to have some sort of a foothold in the fights. Mika will now pick up what seems to be a Basher. It is indeed. Despite, I mean, you can max out his inventory at this point, and I still think he loses to Terrorblade in a one-on-one, so Dota doesn't work like that. Mickey should itemize to kill the Terrorblade's team, and then he needs to rely on the supports, Medusa, and to some extent Pango, handling the Terrorblade later.
Well, Tormentor should spawn relatively soon as the Daedalus looks to be next from Ramsey's side. And I believe the Aghanim Scepter, yeah, for Nisha has been completed, so Swashbuckle every time you shield crash, and he has the 15 talent, of course, to synergize. And the only thing that really counters it is Lasso, kind of, but it's kind of awkward as well to use it on a Rolling Thunder, but you might find the opportunity could be effective.
If Terrorblade gets to lay into this Pango and he doesn't have shield crash stacks, he could die very fast. And you can't disrupt him in ball. So technically, there is an avenue there, but I don't think that's the approach 9Pandas are looking to take. I still think for them, they just want to kill supports, and they probably want to do that until the game ends. Like, get the supports out of the play first. Once they're gone, Ramses will take over. And there's always the wild card of the offensive disruption as well. We haven't really seen that much because Insania has had to save people from Storm. But if you ever get ahead in the fight and you can disrupt Terrorblade, he can also kill himself.
Oh, Concoction from Mickey into the bash.
You have Silence coming in.
He was disrupted and now zips away. Actually uses it to his advantage as a lasso in the mid lane. So, and the zip in from Kiyotaka to try to finish the job. Nisha in the Rolling Thunder though. Do they have the catch? Getting healed now by the Purifying Flames. Bounces the other way, wants to re-aggress potentially. They're gonna go for the Oracle and they'll get him. Nisha somehow lives.
How the hell?
And after all of that, 2 engagements on opposite sides of the map, they connect. 1 support dies.
He managed to just barely get roll-up off on 10% health and got his ult off there. That was super close. I think 9Pandas will feel a little bit snubbed there that they even lose a hero for that engage.
Yeah.
After there was a good disengage from Kiyotaka bottom. They get absolutely nothing out of it. Ramsey's approaching his 400th last hit, 30 minutes in.
Not bad, not bad.
Close to Daedalus. It's really just a matter of can he stand and hit something, because he will kill anything except Medusa. Guess he doesn't really want to hit her in general. It feels like a waste of time. But I will say with the sample size we've had, I think it's very noticeable that 9Pandas are the best team in this tournament at playing against Medusa. Like, they've just, while most other teams have been crumbling, this team has found a way to handle the hero very well. And I wonder what the secret sauce is, if it's playstyle, or if it's a particular pick or two that we just haven't really truly identified what it is they're seeing in it and solving it with. Actually, Miero going to get shadow walked here. This could be interesting.
Yeah,
finds the SD.
Spotted. Okay, the lasso. They're going for Insania first, but there's the Rolling Thunder. Mickey coming in with the concoction as well, focusing on Miero. They should be able to run, but False Promise keeping them alive for the time being. Nisha and Zai teaming up to force the rest of their members back. Miero, I think he might be dead inside this False Promise. He does blow up. There's the Ancient Seal and the Mystic Flare blowing up the Storm. Kiyotaka done for.
So clean. Liquid were just completely ready for that jump. It looked like it was promising, but...
Oh, goodness gracious, bouncing all over the place. Basically pulling a Pango. And Antares dies on the low ground.
9Pandas just not enough in the tank for the jump. They get onto the Shadow Demon with the Bat Rider, but Storm can't jump in and lock him down and kill him without the BKB, without an Orchid, without a Hex. Insania just gets to protect himself, and then they just run them down after. This is big. Ramses was not a part of the play initially, and therefore they didn't have the damage. Now he has to hold more or less 1v5.
Well, he might be able to. He might be doing fine.
For now.
Zai with another Mystic Snake. There's a fortification.
Yeah,
need
they're not
20
getting the tower.
seconds. Storm has buyback, so even if he were to respawn and die, they would have to deal with him again.
I really wonder if you're right about this whole Storm. I don't know if you took his side about whether he should buy BKB or not, but he's not against that much cancel. They're just really reliable with it. They've been, the fact that Kiyotaka has died 6 times this game is pretty incredible to me. Liquid have just had his number all game.
The Ancient Seal has ruined him.
Yeah. And there's multiple ways of itemizing against this if you don't trust or have the reach of your Oracle with you. But I'm still not convinced that not buying BKB is a mistake. I kind of just want to give more credit to Liquid on a really well executed mid game here.
I mean, he has the status resist from the Sage Kaya, but obviously that's not going to completely nullify it. And we'll be going for the sheep stick, so still going for the aggressive attitude.
Yeah.
Which means a lot of pressure on Roger's Oracle to dispel that.
Yeah, usually when we see Storms have Hex, historically they have had a BKB prior to it, so they can BKB jump in, Hex the support, and just kill them safely. In this case, if Kiyotaka is jumping in and hexing the Shadow Demon to kill him, there's no guarantee that he isn't just going to get Ancient Sealed still.
Yeah.
So you don't, and you can't Hex the Skywrath and then go on the Shadow Demon either, because you can't solo kill him. So a little bit of a tricky situation to be in, and this is big if Liquid get this second Aegis.
Yeah, looks like they will. Nobody from 9Pandas really remotely close. So second rush will go the way of Liquid, Aegis, and Cheese. Aegis again to Nisha. Okay, this time that's a little surprising, but...
Cheese on Insania. Yeah, don't put it on Dusa. Won't need the cheese. Put it on your 5. It's so funny to see.
I mean, Cheese would be pretty valued from Medusa, but yeah, it hasn't really
it's unnecessary.
been low.
Exactly. They just need to keep their supports alive.
Oh, I hear a concoction. It stuns himself, but he gets some creeps out of it, so Mickey's not going to be too sad.
Nice farming concoction there.
We'll be going for a Swift Blink, and then that's when he starts running a bit out of room in his inventory. The treads will probably go next. And I know it's not going to happen, but you know, speaking to an existence, Cinderin, I want to see Aghanim Scepters purchased by him at some point, but I know it's not a thing. But it would make me very happy.
Well, eventually it is.
Yeah, we'll see.
If the game goes late enough, it's the best item he can buy.
Every time I hope and dream, it comes crashing down.
Zai. Yeah. I don't know if it would have ended well if they jumped him anyway.
Yeah, Miero looking for an opening, but...
not going to find it. So, if Alk gets to that point with Ags, keep in mind that if you give Aghanims to a teammate that has Aghanims already, you give them 4,200 gold.
Yep.
Could be an interesting way of transitioning either the ping.
Miero runs into most of Liquid. Instant rolling thunder. Zai blinks in as well. Gets off the Mystic Flare. Okay, that's so much damage as Miero bursted from 100 to 0. He does have buyback though. We'll see if Liquid try to force it now that they continue to have this Aegis. Kiyotaka trying to find a sideline kill. Looks like he might be able to do it, but he gets bashed! He gets destroyed! Big mistake from Kiyotaka, looking for a sideline kill on a support. He's dead without buyback.
It really feels like 9Pandas just haven't managed to connect Storm and Terrorblade together in this game in the fights. This Ramses Terrorblade is enormous, but I wonder how much hero damage he's done. Like, a lot of these fights are pretty scrappy and it's skirmishy by nature, and this time around, I mean, this one's just, it's understandable that he wants to try and jump a support, but he has no protection once again, and this time Liquid will get a big reward. It's going to be at least one lane of barracks with no Storm buyback, and they know he doesn't have it because he bought Hex, so
yes,
they can very confidently commit to this, and in case they somehow would be wrong, they still have Aegis and Cheese. So minimum one lane. Man, has this Zai dagger paid off, though. My goodness.
Pretty valuable. And even if you can't get, I thought it was originally for the Stone Gaze, but it's literally a Mystic Snake will just stun people, right?
Yeah.
With the Agnum Scepter, so pretty cool. And Theres caught out, using the Ogre Seal Totem to get a little bit of distance with the Force Staff applied as well. If he can wait out the dust as, Miero's getting caught out in the meantime. False Promise applied to him.
Yeah, he's dead.
They do find the bounty, and this is a dead Bat Rider as well. Both have buyback. But still, Liquid continuing to roll on now. The Satanic looks to be next for Mickey. And I actually want to see what Zai's been building. He has 5.3k.
He's getting
We're going Sheep next.
Yeah, so that's going to be another problem for Storm, and he is identifying the issue here. Kiyotaka's like, okay, screw it, then I'll buy BKB, okay?
I would hope so. My goodness gracious.
He might not, I mean...
He might not have time
Question
now.
is if it's too little too late. Need 2,500 to get there. Liquid with quite a big advantage. 1.5 minutes on the Aegis. Don't know if they're going to try to get a second lane with this. Looks like they are going to be unable to. The waves are decently pushed from the side of 9Pandas.
I mean, one aspect of getting a late BKB that is value is it obviously will be a lot longer than the other BKBs in the game that have already used their duration, but... Roger! Ogre Seal Totem saves another soul.
How does this happen every game to this team? They just did it last game too.
I don't know.
Like, it's just it's like, is this
you can't do it with two people.
Is this in their contract? Like every game you have to go and make things exciting at the Tormentor? You would think they would learn by now whether they can or can't do it as two people, but they seem to find a way of making it spicy every time.
Yeah, they need to add the Tormentor into the client so you can use it in demo mode, so you can just practice fighting this building.
The new target dummy.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Why not?
Liquid gonna go for the high ground here. 30 seconds on Aegis, so Pango will be exposed for it. Okay, they're actually just gonna slow push here with Medusa illusions. They don't hit very hard.
Yeah, but they are very tanky.
That is true. Step by step.
Look at these things. Gracious.
All right, well, if they do that another 50 times, they'll get a ranged barracks. So
they have all the time in the world.
I guess so.
Obviously, the Aegis is one thing you do have to keep in mind, which is expiring, which is why the smoke is now activated on 9Pandas.
Yeah, Terrorblade is more or less maxed out. You can still get Ags, but Ramses is enormous.
Yeah, but now we're starting to see the offensive disruption take over these TB illusions and let them work for you.
And this feels like this is going to be the name of the game for Liquid, is just kite TB. They've done such a good job at mitigating Ramses' impact relative to net worth so far, and if they can keep that up.
Zai. The initiation with Trickster's Cloak into Mystic Snake.
I mean, it's so free to play like this. It's got to be fun, right?
Yeah, and he's got the shard now as well, actually, so it will reflect a Mystic Snake.
Every time Bounty tracks, he throws a snake out. All right. 9Pandas have done their research. They're bringing more heroes.
Good job. Roger still taking damage. Oh my God! Not again! Not again!
He gets hit by Ramses. Oh, you love to see it.
Oh!
You love to see it.
That Tormentor hates him.
Oh my God.
Who got the shard?
Bat Rider.
Okay. Oh.
So that is the sticky napalm. Flaming Lasso no longer disarms you, and every second attack applies a stack. Not particularly great with his build. We've seen some core bats go for this shard together with Witchblade in the past, and ultimately even more attack speed, but it's not really set up to utilize the shard particularly well right now with the items that he has.
Oh, Miero, blinks in, but he is spotted by Insania.
And it's time to get out.
Yeah, he's already disarmed and he's going to get stunned now. Mickey has the Abyssal Blade as well. If he wants to continue the lockdown, he will.
And
easy kill.
The
Very
save from Roger not there. He was in the fountain for some reason. Who knows?
The Tormentor strikes again.
There could be any reason why he wasn't there to save his bat. Zai's in. Let's go. All right.
The offlane Medusa is now hitting your tower. Not scared of anything. Let's see how much damage he's taking. Okay, they're starting to drain his mana very slightly. And the poke onto the buildings. And Tere's continuing out with the tracks.
Gonna glyph this.
Yeah. A little bit surprising considering they don't have a tower there. And the Storm Spirit dies again alone. Boxy has been destroying him all game, no buyback at all. There's the offensive disruption onto Ramses. His creations turn against him. Zai with the Stone Gaze, having a little bit of space. There's Miero getting off a nice lasso. No disruption to save him, but they have the stun lock as Ramses already at half HP. Gets a nice thunder on the Mickey. This will be a pretty nice kill for him, but he is taking so much damage, bashed into oblivion. 3 dead for 9Pandas. GG's. Liquid tie it up 1-1.
And it really feels like the absolutely most important thing in this game, not to beat a dead horse, but they never got any value out of their Terrorblade, and Liquid just shut down Storm so much. Looked like the side of 9Pandas were very reliant on playing around this 4-man skirmish in reality in the mid game with their heroes and just letting TB farm, but Liquid had so many responses ready. They kept punishing them. Zai ends the game deathless, 2-0 and 20 on the Medusa.
Shocker.
Absolutely unbelievable. Yeah, it was an entertaining game. I feel like I can't help but feel a little bit disappointed that we didn't get to see 9Pandas, you know, get an actual team fight. It almost felt like this Terrorblade was quiet for the vast majority of the game.
Well, okay,
quickly have
so
a look at
Ramses farmed out of his mind. Kiyotaka was dying left, right, and center because he didn't go BKB.
Still did the most hero damage, actually, on the Terrorblade.
That is surprising.
Surprising,
yeah.
But not by a lot. And considering his net worth, this also, I mean, you want more value out of this. So they got outplayed, fair and square.
Indeed. Liquid tie it 1-1. What's going to happen in game number 3? Stay tuned and find out soon.
Well, you get all the heroes you want, lots of strong ones, and you win the game. Apparently that's as easy as Dota is.
Yep.
Liquid did what they wanted, Stormstormer.
Yeah, I mean, basically 9Pandas decided to play against Alchemist and Duza, and this is what you get for it, I guess, in this patch. I mean, yeah, this game, I mean, it just slowly but surely slipped out of their hands, I feel like. At some point you could see how, like, they went as 3 or 4 heroes on the Duza on the mid lane, and then, like, they realize they can't kill her, they tip him, and they're like, okay, whatever, yeah, we're getting out again.
Yeah, I think Alchemist, or sorry, I was going to talk about Alchemist, but yeah, I think Liquid showed the strength of this hero, even though the early game was pretty even, or maybe even a little 9Pandas favored. This hero just farms way too much of the map, he gets way too much gold from it, and his timings are just too strong.
The Tormentor is like their mortal nemesis.
It's already nice, you know.
I don't know what's happening.
It's like the cherry on top of it in the end. You know, you already played a 34 or 38-minute game. The game's already looking pretty harsh. You go for the Stormwind, you die. You see some smiles from Roger. I mean, what else can you ask?
What can you do? I must say, I do love it when you see these teams playing with a smile on their face.
Yeah.
Because, you know, obviously we're at the point now where they could get knocked out just before the final, but they can still enjoy stuff like that. That's good, solid pro Dota, I'd say.
Yeah. Cheap, you're happy about the Liquid win?
I'm always happy about Liquid win. I'm always happy about 3 games on the Grand Finals day. You don't want some 2-0 stomp into like some 3-0 stomp. It's like the most miserable end. So to see them be competitive, that's good. I will say, I really hope they don't give them Alk and Medusa again next game. It was like, okay, we take a team fight mid, we kill the Alchemist. Oh, here comes the second carry. Medusa just walks in, they're forced to retreat. Like, it's so dumb.
Yeah. At least take one of them, right?
Yeah.
Like, they were all in the pool. They could have taken it. They decided not to.
Hear me out. It's a clever mental gambit. You give them the Alk and the Juicer and the Pango. You win with that, and then your opponents are like, well, we can't win with these heroes. They're not even going to bother banning them. We'll have to think of something else. It just didn't work.
Insania Insania also played a heck of a game. We just saw here on the screen another save, like multiple times. He was saving people from that Storm Spirit initiation. The burst just wasn't there from 9Pandas to kind of finish anyone off, and I was a little uncertain about the hero, but Storm, it felt like he had to jump 2 people. He had to, we saw that one of those fights in the river there. He jumped the Shadow Demon and then he jumped the Skywrath and then hexed the Shadow Demon, but ended up dying.
There was a lot of weight on him.
Yeah, exactly. Too tall of an order for the Storm Spirit here. He needs some more backup.
Also want to shout out to the supports of Liquid, sorry to interrupt, but I feel like Insania and Boxy played insane games from their respective supports. I think the SD last pick really shined in this game. Like, it completely shut down the Miro Batrider. Like, it's just really annoying matchup. Like, this entire purging and safe to play against.
Very tough. Very tough. Sheep, I know you had a head-to-head you wanted to pick. What have you got for us?
All right, I wanted to talk about Roger Boxy. I wanted to talk about the Oracle and Skywrath because they both bought Blinks this game. And I thought it was cool in like the ways that they bought them for, right? You have a Storm Spirit who has the weight of the world on his shoulders. As a result, he's going for no save items, no Yules, no BKB. He's getting this Hex. And so this Oracle needs to be in position every single fight and has to go for a Blink Dagger to be able to ult him. Meanwhile, you have Boxy buying a Blink Dagger, playing on these side lanes, searching for kills to aid his team. It was a much more aggressive approach, like this offensive versus defensive use of the Blink. I just thought it was a very fun interaction in this game.
Yep, for sure. Need the Blink to help save whoever was getting gone on by Alchemist, I think, in most cases.
Yeah.
He wasn't able to save everyone, though.
Yeah, you can't save it.
There's too many people he had to save.
It's too hard.
Too many jobs. I mean, you could like, honestly, the way this game just progressed over and over, you can see it in the replay as well. It doesn't even look that bad for 9Pandas, right? Like, it doesn't even look like, you look at net worth and everything, all the numbers, you got decent net worth against this Alchemist, but it's just slowly but surely just slipped away from it just because of, I feel like, how the
This was an interesting moment, I've got to say. Just walking up, that was very unlucky, it felt. But what was the tipping point? What was the moment for you, Stormer, where it was like, this seems even, and then all of a sudden Liquid are winning?
I mean, honestly, I couldn't picture out one big moment. I mean, I guess the first moment that like they got this one team fight on Liquid and got like a couple of kills, then you could feel like it was slowly slipping away.
Yeah.
Because before, like, you look at the match with the Terror Blades and like Kiyotaka and everybody's like keeping up pretty well. But there was just so many small moments where you could feel like the draft doesn't really come together, or just simply the Liquid heroes are just too strong of a response. Skymage against the Storm Spirit, once again, was a bit two-sided. The Medusa just not having a mana burn hero on the enemy team, not really being killable.
There's so much farm on the map. Everyone is able to just kind of farm all the time. In the previous patches, sometimes you'd be waiting for the camps to respawn. In the current patch, there's a lot of camps that just go unfarmed. And Alchemist and Doom, these two gold manipulation heroes, really take advantage of being able to farm the whole time. So Alchemist is farming the top side of the map, and then he's like, oh, here comes the enemy. I'm going to go to the bottom side where, Boxy has triple stacked Ancients for me. And there was kind of this mid-game lull there where there wasn't a lot of action, maybe a couple skirmishes here and there, but all of a sudden Alchemist is 6k net worth over Terrorblade, and people pick this Terrorblade for this reflection and long-range damage to reflect the radiance, but Alchemist doesn't care. He just kills everyone anyways.
That's a very good point about the camps.
Yeah.
Like, the map just being so big and having so many camps is really fitting for those two heroes.
A big map, just like our big arena. Can we find a tsunami out there somewhere? Neil, where are you?
I'm just standing next to the trophy right now, trying to gauge the temperature, get the vibes. Guys, we got a 3-game series on our hands. How you feeling about it? Feels pretty good down here, but I feel like we may have been showing a bit of favoritism to this side of the arena. Slacks!
Yeah?
Where are you at right now?
I'm up in the boonies, baby! I'm with the people! How y'all doing up here? Yeah! Hell yeah, we got the real gamers up here. In fact, I thought we might have a little competition. These boys up here, boys and girls, they're there for the big screen. Maybe they came a little late. 2 hours late, maybe a little shit-faced, got a little late on their buses, but they're here. And I thought that they might be a little louder than those normies over in the seating.
Whoa, them some harsh words. Guys, down here on the floor, you ready to have a little friendly competition with those up there in the rafters? All right, Slacks, we've got ourselves a challenge on our hands, it seems.
All right. Well, you know what? I'd feel good if we were first. Now, my friends up here in the rafters, all right? Yeah, I know you've been watching them with their big beer pitchers and pretzels down there, getting their autographs. This is our chance, all right? So on 3, I want you to give us all the power we have so that they know their place, which is under us, below us,
I think we can do a little bit better than that. Look, we're already down here. We've got the right idea.
Oh my goodness. Whoa.
The booze! The booze! Well. We're gonna have to drown those boos out. On the count of 3, my friends. Get ready at the top of your lungs. 1, 2, 3! Whoa!
Oh, is Moo playing again? This is great. Where's he at? No. I don't know. That was hard to decide, man. You know what? Maybe we should have the good ending where everyone is together in happiness. We never get that in Dota. Oh, shut up!
These are Dota players at heart, my friend. They crave the competition, but I think the competition belongs on the stage. Here, we're a community. So on the count of 3, everyone, the rafters, the floors, the people in the concourse getting food.
Yeah,
Let's
we're all
get
better than
into
those
it.
idiots at home, am I right? This one goes out to them. 1, 2, to the morons watching at home. Whoa!
Thank you very much, Velodrome Arena. Now get ready for Game 3 of the lower bracket finals. Period in the panel. Back to you.
That was great to see. I actually couldn't tell which was louder, but I felt more force from
The top was louder.
The top was louder.
It's also bigger. But can I just say how I love
don't science it.
We don't have competition between the players in front of the freaking tournament, but we got competition in our own arena. Like,
I think that's fine. I think that should be the decider in any tiebreaker situation. Which side of the crowd is louder than the other?
and then the respective team wins.
Exactly.
All game
right.
3.
Exactly right. Anyone got anything they want to get off their chest?
No.
No?
No, nothing.
Very curious to see who's going to have first pick this game.
That'll decide it.
Oh, yeah, that will.
It'll play a big factor. I think the bans will be a little bit adjusted. Last game they banned Doom and Caudle. 9Pandas did on second pick. They gave up the Alchemist, which I think was a mistake. Or it was a plan. It didn't work.
Yeah.
I'd like to see a new plan is what I'm trying to say.
Exactly. I think there would be some small draft adjustments. We might see another first pick from Liquid coming out, but I think they're looking still really strong with it. I think first pick Liquid is just really what's going. Like, it's really flowing the boat in this land.
All right, well, let's find out whether indeed first pick matters that much. We'll be back after this break with Game 3. Don't go away.
हेलो चलो खेलते हैं बहुत दिनों बाद खेल रहा हूँ मैं ये नया मैप कैसा है
Share your passion. Wherever, whenever.
काफी
Gaming is a lifestyle. Get your merch at shop.eslgaming.com.
अच्छा ओ कोई देख रहा है क्या नहीं अच्छा मेरे को लगा ये हो रहा है क्या बोलते हैं
Game 3, what we all want.
टाइम है ना नेक्स्ट
Liquid
मैच
fans and 9Pandas fans alike, a good series.
नेक्स्ट मैच को टाइम है ना अभी कि स्टार्ट हो गया
Coming down, culminating in a game 3 to decide who gets to go into the grand final. Face off against Gaming Gladiators later
ये पूरा
today.
पानी अच्छा नहीं
The team will of course finish in 3rd place.
अपन कहाँ बॉटम जाएंगे
All round, but the glory goes to the victor alone. Storm.
Everybody wants to get
नहीं
to
भाग
the grand
जाएगा
final. I mean,
नहीं मेरे को थोड़ा
I'm
मैथ
just a
नहीं
big
पता
fan.
नहीं है
I love looking at drafts. I'm just enjoying my time here, so I'm glad. Thank you, Liquid. Thank you, Pandas, for the third game. Shout out to you guys.
Thank you for the third
जंगल
game.
वगैरह
We
इन्होंने
have
चेंज
5
किया ना
in the upcoming series.
Yeah. 8 games today. 8 games today. That's what everybody wants. And we're already into draft.
First pick has gone to 9Pandas.
All right, GG boys.
खरीदने वगैरह
we're
का
done
सब
here.
सेम ही है ना
They're gonna get Alchemist or
मतलब
Doom.
कैरेक्टर तो सेम है ना
Done. Okay, so things are repeating. 9Pandas has first pick, and they're once again banning their own Medusa. They don't want to play this hero. And Liquid now doing the adjustment though in comparison to the first game where Pandas 5 insta picked the Beastmaster. Now it's banned.
Which do you try to beat as Liquid?
Alk
Alk or Doom?
Alk or Doom? I think you ban the Alk.
Yeah.
I think this hero is just too good.
I agree.
क्या
And you also
जैसा दिख
mentioned
रहा
Ramsey's
है
Alchemist is like instantly comfortable on it. I think Doom of course is also very strong, but I just think this Alchemist hero is just the number 1 ranking after Medusa.
बहुत कुछ
All
लिख
with
के आ रहा है अब
Medusa.
तो
Nobody knows.
अभी ये कहाँ
First
आता है
pick, you have the liberty to just ban heroes like Coddle. You're just
अरे वो रून
Yeah.
it's just just whatever.
Wait, what is getting through now that was out last game? So there is the 9Pandas Chen. So from last time, that's also okay.
Sharded
So the double
creates a
adjustment.
hill
This
of
was
ice
literally their first pick
beneath
in
her
the first stage in the
while
first
standing
game.
on the hill.
Insta pick
Attackers
Beastmaster
gain
into the
bonus
Chen
attack
afterwards.
range and
So Pandas
comes
completely has to come with a new strategy. But
ये एक्टिव हो गया क्या
Alchemist is in.
So could they now basically, if 9Pandas take Alk, which you might reasonably expect them to, do you just take like Doom
कौन सा?
and Bounty or something like that?
I absolutely think so. I think this is a trade-off that is going to happen now. Doom and Alk. It's just up to 9Pandas which one do they want, the Doom or the Alk.
I feel like we see conflicting opinions though between
आ रहे हो
teams in
क्या?
terms of
कहाँ?
like their drafts of who thinks
अरे
Doom and Alk
मरेगा।
is better than the other. Like some teams think Alk is good against Doom and some people think Doom is good against Alk.
Yeah, I mean, both these heroes are just S tier. I mean, you can Doom the Alchemist, it doesn't really do that much, but Doom by
अरे
itself
इधर
is just a
क्या?
really, really strong hero.
मैं
in the
पढ़ने
current
में
meta,
busy था।
so
But Doom kind of hates
अभी
being, like,
TP
random,
अच्छा है,
which
वो
Alk will do to him as well. Feels like there's like upsides of I would want to take Alk if I was 9Pandas.
I'm looking at some of these drafts, and 9Pandas has played against Alchemist twice, and they lost both those games. So I don't think they've figured out how to beat this hero themselves.
They're taking their time. I just don't want. What I don't want to happen is the 9Pandas.
They've gone for
both.
Doom.
Ugh.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Liquid instantly taking the Alk and AA. Ooh. Instantly pop. This is okay. That was the fastest 4 picks that I've seen ever after
my
1 minute of
days.
reserve time. Okay. So, Alchemist with the AA. This AA is probably also a block pick because AA of
क्या
course
है?
will counter the Alchemist.
Yes.
Pandas immediately responding with the TV, which they also did last game. So Ramses is saying, hey, I think this hero pick could have worked out. We just have to do small adjustments.
Okay.
We also got first pick now. Give me this hero again. So he's really comfortable on this carry matchup.
TB's very good against Ancient Apparition. You can Sunder, even if you're hit with that AAL.
Yeah, you don't care. Probably one of the few healing mechanics that works through the Ice Blast.
Correct. You favoring either side here? How do you
अरे
feel about
एक
Field
भी
Nurse?
नहीं
I mean, in general, I tend in this tournament to favor the Alchemist. And I think Liquid, am I wrong about this? But did Liquid ever lose with the Alchemist in this tournament? Is it like the 100% win rate hero or something?
अरे मेरे को ट्रेड्स ही बनाना है ना अभी भी
Computer calculate.
They lost with it.
They've lost.
They lost
कुछ
with
तो
it?
भी बूट
There
का
you
भी
go.
चेंज आया
Computer
था
says
ना
they've lost.
But they had to have a Muerta on their team as well, which that hero's had marginal results.
Yeah, that's true. And it fell off quite a bit. Second stage is looking similar as always. Team Liquid is not giving Pandas the techies anymore and the bounty being banned. 2 Antares heroes that he's been played both last games.
I'm assuming they'll probably want to pick Skyrath on 9Pandas. I really like that hero with the Doom. I think it makes his lane very easy, and it gives you a free like setup already. Like this Blink Doom with Infernal Blade, Hoof Stomp potentially. It's just a very easy way to get pickoffs with Skyrath.
Can I just ask quickly, might we see something like a Pugna Storm? We've seen that quite a bit, or is that not likely?
Yeah, no, I was about to mention something like that. The Pugna Storm is still in the pool that is looking really good for 9Pandas. It's a very strong combo pick. And of course,
ये बढ़ा दिया ना शायद?
Very comfortable on the Storm Spirit. The Enchant has sort of been the second option, which I think would be really good for Antares against the AA. But Io, Liquid going with the Io, this can lead into a lot of picks, of course, following up. There was Lesh from the last game, not particularly good against the Terrorblade though. There might be Anisha Storm Spirit. They love that combo absolutely on Liquid.
Wisp has fallen out of priority a little bit for teams at this tournament, but I do think it's one of the best supports up against Doom. One, because Wisp has lots of healing, but also Wisp could just relocate somebody who's in trouble and doomed out of the fight. Very good kiting hero.
Cheap for reading the draft. Once again. I feel like Antares is always, he has like a pattern, you know? He wants to give me bounty, give me Sky, or give me techies, and he gets one of those 3.
No Pugna, but we do see the Storm along with the Skyrath coming out.
I'm told that Liquid have 4 wins and 3 losses with Alchemist.
Oh, okay, that one's way off. Then I just had it in my brain because of all these last games that looked so strong that I felt like
they've been winning a lot of games. It's been, you know, almost half a week since they lost.
Butterfly बनाने के लिए.
Yeah, I mean they've been running quite smoothly through the lower bracket, right?
Yes.
9Pandas. Okay, Storm Spirit Skymate. Stealing the Storm Spirit. What are you reading at?
Just one of those signs.
नहीं शायद update हो गया
ये
ये भी.
भी.
ये पुराना जो मेरा default था.
So I love the Storm Spirit pick. Once again, hard to counter, and obviously the denied pick. I think Liquid would have instantly picked it up if they could have gotten their hands on it. They've been looking insanely good with the Io and the Storm Nisha Storm rather. But now, of course, I need a replacement. They're definitely going to pick the mid laner here, probably. They could just go for something like a Leshrac, because it synergizes really well with the Io. And it has a pretty good laning stage against the Storm Spirit.
I feel like Nisha's really been favoring spirits, so like between Void Spirit and Ember Spirit is usually his hero of choice.
They've agreed on something, I believe.
Oh, he's smiling.
Ooh, that's so good.
Look at him, he's smiling. He loves it. He loves it.
Oh, that's hype as hell. I mean, this Lone Druid has been such a good counter to Storm Spirit for so long. It's such a good pick.
This hero is very good against spirits, man. This hero is very good. And it's one of those picks, he clicks on it and he just knows the crowd is going to love it. You can see he's
like,
why is it so good?
I love it, just for the hero counters. Like, you're playing into these roots as like Storm Spirit is so difficult. But also, I'm looking at Liquid's lineup. You don't have stuns on your supports. You're not looking to go and make like highly mobile plays. They've made their like Death Ball much stronger by having a Lone Druid. Like, Lone Druid out, these guys can just go and take towers and take objectives and do whatever they want on the map together with all this healing.
Gotcha. So what is 9Pandas? Is there another support they can get to give them a better chance?
I guess they're kind of missing like team fight control. Like if they do want to be able to fight into Liquid's ball, it's a little bit hard. Like they're very pick-off focused right now. It feels like.
ये नीचे अच्छा नीचे और भी है अच्छा नीचे
Disruptor in the pool.
Exactly, Disruptor comes to mind,
teleport
but I'm
वाला क्या
almost
scene है?
certain we'll get banned. It's just way too good hero. Oracle being banned first, okay. The Disruptor I still love. It's also good with the Glimpse against the Relocate. Good with Storm Spirit as well.
What about something new? You guys got any off the wall ideas? Take a try here. Some new heroes.
Like crazy.
This IO. I'm thinking about both heroes quite a bit. I mean, Liquid is also getting like, still has to pick an IO combination for me as well, but of course, first of all, I need to see what Pandas is gonna pick. Besides Disruptor, what else is in there that Roger could play?
Yeah, there's no Ench, there's no Chen, there's no Bounty. He has played Nyx, but I'm not sure it fits here.
Yeah, it's not particularly good against Liquid heroes, I think.
I think it's been a pretty loosey hero overall mix, oddly enough.
There's just something casual like a Crystal Maiden or something. It has been pretty. It has been looking pretty decent this tournament. It has offensive potential in the laning stage with Terror lane to lane together.
Maybe
like a Phoenix or
a Phoenix. Yeah, I was gonna go along the same lines. I was thinking you could still
farm
potentially go
keyboards
Pugna, even though you're playing into AA and the healing's not as effective. It's like if you can still. He's not always going to be AAO'd. You can still play around it, give your Storm loads of mana, let him make plays.
Spam decrep on the bear.
Yeah, exactly. That seems really nice. And being able to pick these supports off and just make your Storm enabled to do that is going to make your fights much easier.
Yeah, I don't mind it. I mean, if the Storms are together, it has a lot of merit to it. The Disruptor stays in the pool. Really, I think Roger has quite some options. Like, as you mentioned, the Pugna, maybe the Disruptor still you managed on Peter.
Yeah.
Yeah, Disruptor stayed in the pool.
Yeah, I like this one almost the most, I think. If you catch this Lone Bird off guard with like a static shot before he gets the true form off, he will almost certainly always die. And once again, the glimpse against the IO. Quite surprising this hero still in the pool. Oh, 5 seconds left.
Oh my
Witch Doctor, oh my god, such fast picks.
The Insania redemption arc.
What is going on?
Wait, no, this is not Insania. No, it's IO Witch Doctor.
Holy shit. Okay.
It's IO Witch Doctor. Oh, that was such a fast pick.
Fun drafts.
That's so hard.
This is going to be a good game 3, hopefully. Fingers crossed. I hope I didn't just jinx it.
No, you didn't.
Do you guys know how this plays, this matchup in the offlane? Rare one, but...
Does anybody?
Yeah, but come on, clear your eyes.
Witch Doctor? I mean, I'm not a sideline player. I just know that this combo heals like crazy. It's really hard to bring down. I guess it has enough sustain against the ET and the TV lane. But they just insta-picked it. It feels like no matter what...
वो neutral में कोई भी select कर सकता हूँ क्या?
I think when they were laughing, they'd agreed, this is what we're doing. Right? This is what we're doing, lads.
क्या लूँ? And damage. Pick pull लेता हूँ.
And not a Witch Doctor.
Very strong timing push when this Alchemist gets his
कौन सा लूँ
radiance.
फिर?
They're going to be ready to go.
मेरे को तो
on the Alchemist?
Yeah. On
नहीं
Wisp Heals, they've got Witch Doctor,
gloves है, pole है,
Bear to siege
tumbler
buildings.
है और bracelets है. 110% magic resistance.
Well, I guess we'll find out. Will
यही ले लेता हूँ
Lone Druid
10%
be
magic
plague
resistance.
on 9Pandas houses, or will the 5 bears of 9Pandas be able to turn around and push Liquid back into the sea? I don't know where it's going, but we'll see if Suns fan and Syndicate can figure it out. Over to you, lads.
Great segue as always, Pyrian Flax, the best in the business. Suns fan here with Cinderin. Lower bracket finals, game number 3. Winner of this faces off against Gaming Gladiators in the grand finals. Liquid showing some huge testicles with that Witch Doctor last pick, Cinderin. We've seen it before in a different form, I guess. I think it was a carry, if I'm not mistaken. It was really weird. They have some major healing / pushing strat. They have a timing. And the problem is if they don't hit that timing, do they have a late game to survive against 9Pandas lineup?
Yeah, it feels a little bit all-in by nature, right? Like if this game goes late, you're playing against Doom, Storm, Terrorblade, Tricor, and Elder Titan, who is one of the most interesting late game supports for a couple of reasons. And yeah, you talk about the bold picks from Liquid. They are definitely bold, but Elder Titan in an elimination game as well.
Yeah,
They're coming out from Roger. This is going to be spicy. There's a really good chance that these teams haven't played against some of the respective heroes they're facing here in more than a game or 2 in this patch in general. So yeah, going to see who can adapt the best. And yeah, Liquid definitely effectively saying, guys, we're going to beat you in 25 minutes.
ये इधर से डायरेक्ट आ सकते हैं
weather the storm and buy enough time. And I say that against an Alchemist draft, but this is a different nature of Alchemist strategy than what we've mostly been seeing in this tournament.
जा सकते हैं क्या? पर नहीं जा सकता.
It's not like they can't win late, but I definitely do favor them in the later portion of the
नहीं जाऊँ क्या bottom यार
रुको.
9Pandas really respecting the AA pick as well. They don't really pick any like, healing type. They were a ton in the pool, obviously, which I'm sure Liquid would wanted them to have picked. Like they're talking about the Pugna, for example, which even without the healing, just being able to give mana to this Storm Spirit. No mana battery this time around. The Elder Titan, kind of an unknown. A lot of times you pick this against the Terrorblade, the Terrorblade's on your team. So only time will tell how this does. But I mean, it is a good push, anti-push hero, the Elder Titan, because of the way that the Astral Spear Echo Stomp into Earth Splitter works. We'll see if it works out for them.
That was the way they justified picking this over, for example, the Pugna, right? I think the panel had some very good suggestions for what Roger could be playing this game, but from his perspective, he probably wants to delay pushes. And ideally for him, maybe lane against an IO dual lane with his Spirit here. He's going to throw it on the Alch, and now we're going to run it across the entire map with the gate. Obviously a new play.
Yeah.
That Elder Titan beforehand. This is reminiscent of the good old TPing play.
All right, will it go through any camps? There's
Wonder
no
where
Roche
Elder
there
Titan
anymore.
is, guys. He could be anywhere. Okay,
this is
going to hurt.
Yeah, he has 63 damage right now, in addition to his base, just beating the shit out of Zai. Holy crap. That is cool.
They have heals, though.
They do.
Heals for days.
They certainly do. But he forces them out for the time being. Insane getting a little bit low on the bot lane. This is a game, an elimination game. Man, both teams really thinking outside the box.
Yeah, Roger's going to have to use his salve, but with a very uncharacteristic starting build here. Salve plus 6 tangos, excuse me. Not really common to see that
Top
nowadays.
आते हो
It
क्या
feels
इसको
like
पकड़ते?
he has a plan here. He's like, I'm going to be trading regen with you guys for as long as I possibly can in this lane to give Terrorblade a good start. I mean, so far so good, I suppose.
All right.
This is pretty happy.
Let's talk about the Witch Doctor, okay? Typically a support. Off lane this game, obviously we've talked about the healing synergy between the Witch Doctor, the IO, and you have the anti-heal from the AA, and then just the general push from the Lone Druid Alk. Is this a good Witch Doctor game as core? As First Blood, okay.
Oh, they're both
Insania
dying,
gets it
maybe.
in the bot lane.
Close
And
call.
Teres, one more right click. Double kill for an Ancient Apparition position 5. He did go Chilling Touch level 1, so he was harassing right off the bat.
How in the world is this lane getting a double kill? That is an incredible start from Liquid that you definitely could not have expected. That Doom Sky will be killed by a level 1 AA plus Alk lane. Maybe Insania did get level 2 just before it, potentially, but yeah, as far as Witch Doctor goes, I don't know. I think, again, this strategy is not so much about the individual heroes, it's about the combination of everything they're bringing together, because I look over the side of 9Pandas and I feel like there's a completely unanswered Storm Spirit in this game.
ये तो creeps नहीं है what?
Insania,
will be on the
Fairy
receiving
Fire
end this
keeps
time.
them alive a little bit longer. I mean, another thing to think about with the lineups that they have, Witch Doctor, Maledict against Terrorblade is insanely good, especially when you can't heal with AA.
वो रोश का
So
क्या
that is
है
something maybe
दिन
we
में
can
इधर
look
रहता
forward
रात में
to.
उधर खुलता है.
But yeah, definitely out of the box, which you love to see regardless of who you're rooting for. But I think the timing window is the big thing, right? I cannot personally see this lineup surviving super late game against what 9Pandas have.
So they were level 2. Okay, I was like, there's no way they
Like,
died
no, I
level 1,
don't know.
and they didn't. So, but even level 2 getting a double kill in that lane is unexpected, to be fair.
Yeah.
Miro has found himself the Chain Lightning Harpy. Can't spam this too much. He runs
पहले
out
मेरे
of
को ये
mana in this
भेजना
lane.
पड़ेगा क्या? कैसे मेरे को
I had the
आएगा?
pleasure another day of playing against an offlane Coddle Doom,
Neutral?
where the Doom found Chain Lightning. He
Upgrade
Chain Lightning for 5 minutes straight. It was awful, but he can't do that this game.
That's
You
right.
can do it for a bit with Arcane Boots, but you will eventually run dry, at the very least. Seeing Nisha putting on some good pressure here. Kiyotaka's holding his own, though. The panel was talking about this being a good lane for Lone Druid.
Concoction. And it's actually going to proc the cold feet. So nice combo coming out. And Terry's staying alive with that wand. Going to get slowed by the Ice Vortex, which does damage now, of course. And Insania with his 3rd kill of the game.
And Mika laughing there because Insania did everything he could to give him the kill. And then, oh wait, Skywrath had a lot more heals than we expected. And he still gets the kill in the end, so it was all for nothing. Might as well killed him right away.
It happens.
Yeah.
As we're going to see a bottle refill in the mid lane for Kiyotaka. Was not able to get the water rune top.
क्या वो?
A lot of denies on Ramses as well. Worth keeping an eye on this top lane. 13 denies from
क्या
Terrorblade. Should be building a very significant experience advantage here, as a matter of fact. Almost level 4 to the level 3 of Witch Doctor. So he will definitely be
That's
having
okay.
a good
Witch
time.
Doctor's used to being a support anyways. And
उसको
Terry's
पकड़े-
going to take a full concoction from Mickey.
पकड़े तो मार सकते हैं उसको.
And that's on top of the Ice Vortex. Yeah, the damage is just overwhelming. If they can just get that catch, it's an easy kill.
I wonder if, I'm assuming there wasn't a change. You can still Sunder while Ice Blasted, right? It hasn't been changed into being a heal.
I think so, although I haven't seen an interaction.
The reason I was wondering it was when we saw the pick order from Liquid, right? They picked Alk AA together,
Yeah.
and they haven't been protecting their Alk against AA in general this tournament. So it almost seemed like they were protecting themselves against Terrorblade, but I think you can still Sunder.
I'm not sure.
When you're Ice Blasted. If you can't, it's suddenly a very different matchup.
Oh, Cask won't bounce again onto Ramses, so he will be A-okay. Gets the reflection on Aya. Looks hilarious with that cosmetic. Concoction from Mickey. He's getting pursued, though. Blood Grenade. Echo Stomp is there as well. He gets it off in time, so will not stun himself. Meanwhile, Ramsey's getting chased. The Alk will die in the bot lane. Ramsey's still being pursued around the trees, trying to block with his illusions. Boxing now taking heavy damage, but the Cask is there. Blood Grenade going to slow them down as more rotations from 9Pandas, trying to turn this around onto Zai. Ramsey's still sticking around, facing off against these two basically support heroes. Echo Stomp connects. I can't get over this Witch Doctor.
I had the Benny Hill theme playing in my head when they started running around the trees there, but yep, nobody's gonna die.
Apparently not. A lot of heals, as we've said.
Oh, they're full health again.
Okay,
oh,
maybe
I
he
take
will
it back.
die.
He might die.
Cask does not bounce again onto Antares. Will be pursued again through the trees. Can they find the vision? And yes, just barely Boxy with that last right click.
This lane is so stupid. Oh, and it's been so for a while, but we haven't really seen any team playing at this tournament until now. Liquid pulling out a little bit of a pocket strategy here in the deciding game. And the reason I call it that is the lone turret as well.
Ramses has to be careful. Ice Vortex is there, able to get out, but now he's getting gone on by Boxy and his spirits. One more will do it, make it a right click for Insania, who is destroying on this ancient apparition.
See if he can afford 2 rapiers this game as well. We'll get there on
the old
turret.
Hurricane Pike, Divine Rapier AA, always a classic.
Oh, they're losing 2 towers minute 7. This is really, really bad news for 9Pandas. They're actually getting run over currently. It looked fine for a bit in the lanes, but...
Misha, he gets off his true form, so he's going to get tanky again. Fine. Now, the bear still pounds on Kiyotaka, but
no point in Ancient Seal. Roger will steal the Wisdom Rune.
Yep.
So at least something going their way, but Liquid with a huge lead already.
Yeah, Boxy's got his spirits ready to go. Just can't get... Okay, he's going to get both with the Stomp. High fives the tower. They still know where he is, and you have to think eventually he will go down. And that last right click. Okay, not able to get denied. That was actually pretty damn close. So Insania, continuing his rampage throughout this game, now has the 5th kill to his name.
And with these arcane boots, he's just running with boxes. The classic ganking duo. AAIO, roaming.
We will remember this forever.
Dota is an interesting game. Sometimes stuff that never works just works.
Rune ka?
That's what a terrible quote, but I'm glad that it was you that said it.
It's a famous one from Abraham Lincoln, as a matter of fact. Yes.
Very good. 4K lead for Liquid. Kiyotaka and Roger, they are smoked up. It's gonna pop. Nisha doesn't have true form this time, but he does have Boxy to link up with him. Is it gonna be enough to keep him alive? Looks like that is a big no. So big kill from 9Pandas, trying to punish this Liquid lineup. Still a little bit more mana for Kiyotaka, but not enough to actually get the kill on the Boxy. Now links up with his partner Insania. And Miero, he's top net worth on his team right now. My question to you is this, he actually is going Midas, as we'll talk about that in just a moment. Mickey gets the concoction, attempting the TP out. It's going to be close. They get him. Has to make the walk of shame. And now we can talk about the hand of Midas. How greedy is that against this lineup from Liquid that obviously is timing based and they want to push?
Yeah, there's 2 ways of looking at it, right? One is, I'm going to go Midas and we're going to survive through it and then we'll beat them on greed. And the other one is, uh-oh, we're going to be in trouble. I have to buy Crimson Guard to stall and defend the towers. And he believes they can pull this greed off.
Okay,
I think it's a bold choice. I would have also personally liked to see a Crimson first, and then you can actually go back for the Midas if you need to. Crimson Guard obviously amazing against Lone Druid's tower push by blocking on the tower itself. Especially when he comes in with Overcharge. You get so much attack speed but no additional damage, so the block is full value. And this is going to take some time. Obviously the Midas will be completed in 250 and then needs to get a full Vit booster plus the build-up. So I don't think we're looking at anything sub 15 Crimson here for Miero the way this is going so far. See if it comes back to bite them.
Yep, I mean, we'll know pretty soon because this lineup, like we said, will not last forever, I would think.
Stealing the stack here, Liquid.
Yep, that is nice for Liquid. Roger, he's going to run into this. A lot of these creeps have already died, of course. It'll be sad to see that. We'll get a couple for himself in the meantime. As Zai, he's going to get gone on. Kiyotaka with the Electric Vortex. Zai, he has been maxing out this Voodoo Restoration, but it's not enough to keep him alive. He's going to see the first Ice Blast of the game. Miero throws out the Doom, dies shortly after. Now the link up onto the Alchemist. Looks like they can be able to heal through this relatively easily. So Ramses makes his rotation, gets off the Metamorphosis as well. All for naught, it seems.
Kiyotaka will find the best neutral item in the game on Storm relative to tier. We'll get the Fairy Trinket. Incredible on this hero. Spell damage and mana cost reduction is outstanding for the Storm. Yeah, Liquid getting another kill there onto the Doom, slowing down Miero further. He does have the Midas, but yeah, would have loved to even be close-ish to a Crimson at this point. If he was having a great game, he would absolutely have the Vanguard on top of the Midas.
So Zai's win rate was 76% on Witch Doctor, which is 6th for him. His Concoction popped. Looking for Roger, looking for the Echo Stomp, but he is not going to find it. He will go to the grave. Another kill for Liquid.
Reload.
Question is, can they get more? Antares. Oh, AA Blast coming. Looks like it'll connect onto him. Zai is here. He's going to get Ancient Sealed, though. Antares should be able to walk this off, but the concoction is for the Doom, and there's the first death ward of the game, doing massive damage. Miero is dead.
I think, I'm not sure if
Concoction, he's not done yet. Mickey going deep into the base already at 11.5 minutes. Will not find the Skywrath. Linked up now by Boxy. Echo Stomp from Roger. They're going to get punished for this. Electric Vortex Kiyotaka, but Mickey getting healed so much between Boxy and Zai. Can they actually dive this far and get away with it? Under the tier 3 tower, down goes Roger. Kiyotaka, he's out of mana now. The spirits are coming for him. One more right click should do it. Finding the distance with that last sip. He's gonna die as well. What the hell is going on? Miero right outside his fountain. He just... Is this Dota? 12 minutes in and you're diving. A-Blast is coming. Oh my goodness.
Dead, and Tars is gonna burn.
He died. 12 minutes in, 9K lead for Liquid. Now, again, we were expecting them to do well early, maybe not this well. How long can it last? How long is the window open as Mickey got that huge burst of heal there?
Oh, it's open a lot longer after this because they're going to be closing in on their next key items. They got the mech on the IO. Lone Druid is looking to push mid now as well, closing in on Deso. There is a real possibility that Liquid could end this game sub 20 because, I mean, I still need to see what Terrorblade's going to offer. Another situation here where Liquid are effectively diving the deepest you've ever seen, and Ramses is nowhere to be seen. He doesn't even have a TP. He's just stuck up top, playing on his own, farming. And it feels like, I mean, I understand you want to do this as Terrorblade, but your team is kind of desperate for help at this point. How long can you actually play this way before you're forced to join up? Miero is not going to go Vanguard, or rather he is for now, but he's not going to turn it into... No, he's not even getting
Here, Vessel looks
He's
like.
going straight Vessel.
Wow.
They need to solve this healing problem.
That's true. That is true. But the problem is, I mean, I guess you use it on whoever's linked up, or the IO. But still, there's going to be heals coming out from the Witch Doctor. And, I mean, he did end up going for the Midas first, so we'll see if that pays off. Obviously, not yet.
It seems like the reason Liquid opened... Is it possible that they opened Alk AA because they wanted the strategy from the beginning of the game, right? It's like...
It is possible this was a complete pocket strat from the beginning.
It could have been, but you can't guarantee that the IO doesn't get banned, and I think that's the most crucial part of this strategy. But maybe you're like, no team would expect you to pick IO when your other support is AA, right?
True.
So I guess it's pretty concealed. And also from the cameras, it looked like they were agreeing, all right, guys, let's pull this strat off. And that was second phase, right? So
well, plus you know that...
Maybe it wasn't fully planned.
You know that the enemy will not be picking IO because you have an AA.
Yes.
So that kind of denies that to some degree.
Absolutely. I mean, you don't truly... We've seen AA.
I mean, we've seen it, but it's dissuaded heavily.
Yeah, absolutely.
And, okay, he did finish the van. Man, he's going back and forth. Oh, I guess he's going to take that apart.
He's going to disassemble it, yeah.
Okay. All right, Liquid, 9K lead. And, I mean, a hero or a person we haven't talked about very much is Nisha, which is playing this Lone Druid, of course. The Mask of Madness.
It almost seems like they could have had anything at this point, right?
Well, the bear does help with the pushing. No, that is the initiation coming from 9Pandas. They get a very important kill on a Mickey, but there's a relocate. Zai is linked up, gets off the death ward as well, but it's not enough for a kill.
Every one of these kills for 9Pandas is super important. It's just about buying time and stemming the bleeding, getting there. If they weren't this far behind, if this game was somewhat even in gold right now, they would be pretty happy, but...
Yeah, now that Deso's online for Nisha's bear, another tier 2 tower falls, and that's actually, I didn't realize they got the bottom one. So every tier 2 tower is dead for the side of 9Pandas.
Yep.
And we'll see
and
again.
They've taken none themselves. So there's a lot of dead gold on the map, right?
True.
Technically.
True.
But yeah, this Dire lineup is not likely to go and knock on the tower anytime soon. They're going to be scared of AA ult and relocate.
And considering how much map control they have, and considering they have the global presence of the IO, I would be shocked if Liquid don't try to take the Tormentor from 9Pandas side first.
Absolutely would be a good idea.
First, Roche.
Yep.
Pretty damn early Roche, but with the bear, you are afforded this, and the infinite healing coming out from the side of Liquid. Looks like Mjolnir will be next for the bear. What is on Zai right now? He has, okay, he actually did go Holy Locket, so even more healing, and Pipe will be next.
Yep.
Just all in on this push strat.
Absolutely all in. Which is, at the same time, also a little bit daunting, right?
It could be scary. If
you go too far one or two times, you don't have much to fall back on with this strategy. So really need to keep the execution up as they have so far. Saw the 9k gold lead just a moment ago. It's down to 6. So 9Pandas did end up getting that bot tower with the Siege Wave plus Doom. Actually, no play was made from Team Liquid.
A bit of a slower Roche, but Liquid do claim it, which will aid in their, I assume, will be high ground push very shortly.
And the anti-healing is starting to come out. Miero has the Vessel, no charges though, but if he wants to, he could just go and die and get one in this patch. Don't know if that's...
go stand around the Tormentor just like Roger does all the time.
Oh yeah, they could do that together. Nice.
The Roger and Ramsey special.
And Ramsey's almost has Scotty, so more in the way. That anti-heal, so the tools are starting to come out. Question is, can Liquid just finish this more or less here and now, or what are you waiting for? Is it the Alk BKB? Probably. Once you have this, just go high ground, I suppose? It's, I feel like you don't want to wait around, but you still got to be a little bit wary of how you approach the fights. Keep in mind, it's only a level 1 natural order, but this is something we shouldn't overlook.
Yeah.
The magic resistance reduction helps Storm and Skywrath a ton in killing off cores. Even the Doom gets some significant help from that too with the Scorched Earth damage.
Well, we got the Zip in Ancient Seal. He even used the Earth Splitter, but no connection from the side of 9Pandas. Kiyotaka has to use basically the rest of his mana just to get away. And Fairy's getting chased by this fearsome bear. Will drop as a result, and now Liquid will likely poke the high ground, and this poke will be very aggressive, let's say. Fortification popped.
The creeps are going to survive the glyph.
And now that there is the Echo Stomp, but there's no Earth Splitter, so no massive combo potential from 9Pandas for the foreseeable future. Of course, Echo Stomp is quite annoying to deal in, to go into. They will get this tower pretty much free, but now the entirety of 9Pandas are alive. What is their response? Do they give this up and just delay it for the second racks, or will they actually fight? The Bear's just going to get these buildings all by himself. Fortification popped to delay this a little bit longer. Mickey that has his concoction ready as well. It looks like this will be given up by 9Pandas, so Liquid get their first set of racks at 18.5 minutes. Plenty of time just to continue. Remember, the Age is still online. Pretty fresh one, in fact. For the mid lane, potentially, or we'll see if they... it is 19 minutes, getting close to that Tormentor timing. And how important are the shards here for Liquid? So the bottom two net worth for them would be the AA and the IO. AA, that's a new one, right? That's
AA shard gives it Ice Blast a 60% stun duration of the current level of Cold Feet.
Yeah.
Can be really good against a hero like Storm, actually.
All right, IO is
this is going to be the moment, though. This is everything for Pandas. If they fail this fight, the game's likely over.
Yep, Pipe activated. Pipe was just picked up by Miero, so he can activate his own as well. The fear applied to Kiyotaka, but he's able to get out. There's a big Earth Splitter coming out. That is a dead Zai right off the bat, and now the focus is on the IO, so Boxy is dead. All the healers dead for Liquid, and Ramses continuing to right-click on a Mickey who had to pop his BKB. But they're going to fight Kiyotaka. He gets bashed into oblivion, rooted by the bear, and now Roger ticking down ever so slowly. Mickey's going to blink in just to finish him off. Ramses has to be careful here on the footsteps of his base. Nisha getting kited by this Scotty, getting really low, and again, no healers available to him. Another right-click coming, and that is the Aegis. His bear, of course, still alive, able to operate freely. And Ramses, his metamorphosis is about to end here in a few seconds.
Liquid are just going to go again.
Absolutely.
Now that this is down,
they're alive again.
You got to commit for this. You have such a big advantage now with this on cooldown. No Earth Splitter, no Doom.
And you still have your second bear. The first one didn't die in that entire engagement.
You're just going straight back in. This fight is going to be even harder now for 9Pandas.
Yeah, no Doom. The ultimate, that is. And no Earth Splitter.
You get the Witch Doctor set up.
Onto 2. There's the Mystic. Okay, they'll be able to do a lot of burst damage to this Witch Doctor. A Blast comes in and basically hits the entirety of 9Pandas. And that is a dead Terrorblade. The AA Blast absolutely destroyed them. And now the focus is on the buildings. Will they get this second racks? It looks like that is a resounding yes, as Liquid very close to finishing this game 3 and going to the grand finals. That's 2 sets of racks, and they're not going to stop yet. Mickey jumps in with the concoction onto Kiyotaka, forced to zip away. Another tier 3 on their plate. Terrorblade not alive for 20 seconds. Doom still with no ultimate for the foreseeable future. 40 seconds away. They cannot stop this. Concoction applied to Roger. They find him in the trees. He's dead. Miero, he's taking a lot of damage. He gets stunned out and double kill for Mickey. And this is looking way over for Liquid. Ontario is getting chased onto the tower. GGs are called. Liquid go to the grand finals with a position 3 Witch Doctor. My goodness, what a showing.
We've seen a lot of one-sided games this tournament, but not in this way. I feel like this one was a really unique one that Liquid pulled one out of the bag. They first faced AA, something we haven't seen, I want to say, the entire main event. They run this back with an IO Witch Doctor offlane, full-on push healing strat in this patch. And they made quick work of it. This game was getting, I mean, when they started diving the base, it was basically getting out of control, right? And that was minute 10, I think. They were between the towers. And
around that time, yeah.
Crazy stuff. You gotta feel bad for the 9Pandas, of course. They had their shot yesterday against Gaming Gladiators. They were well ahead in game 1 and dropped that one. They dropped down here. They look good game 1 and again just fall short. Still think they can be proud of a great tournament run from themselves.
Great showing, and I think that they helped develop the meta for this tournament quite a bit with their crazy-ass picks. The Bounty Hunter that we talked about, I mean, that wasn't crazy, but they played it so well throughout this entire tournament. Obviously, with the stand-in, Solo being replaced by Roger. Great showing from 9Pandas. But in this specific game, that healing strat just felt unstoppable. At that early stage, and we did talk about it pregame, what would they be able to do to stop it? The Midas didn't help.
No. Definitely not.
I thought the Elder Titan was definitely a cool solution. It just never really formed.
I mean, it showed its promise. You imagine this game without Liquid getting that absolutely snowbally fight into the enemy base. Like, what if the gold lead is half as big? And they got like 4K or 5K gold on this, like, just full-on train down the enemy base, killing back-to-back heroes. And you know, what could have been here for 9Pandas without some mistakes is the question. But that's the thing. When you're playing against a lineup that plays this fast, the pressure, it can really get to you. It goes really fast all of a sudden, and they couldn't recover.
That was a very entertaining game number 3. Team Liquid going to the grand finals to face against Gaming Gladiators.
You may have thought that was the shortest game of the Berlin Major, but no. That's only the 8th shortest, believe it or not. But this game was over before it was over, really, wasn't it? I mean, there were multiple times when we were saying, well, should we go back out there? This game's going to be over in a second. This was an absolute, I'm going to say it, I didn't know if the cast said it, a Gaben-level shellacking.
Gaben-level shellacking, yeah. Jenkins will be proud. Yeah, as you can see on the screen, it's an 11-minute dive into the enemy tier 4. Like, Liquid completely ran away with this game. Absolutely crazy. I was running backstage into William, aka Blitz, and he was just smiling about this funny draft. I think he's smiling now as well.
Well, as soon as we've seen the best of Liquid, or I mean, can they pull something like this out in the final as well, Sheep? I mean, they were very confident with this draft.
Yeah, they just were, like, the draft picks came out so fast. They clearly had a very good idea. I don't know where they were hiding this before, but they clearly had a good idea of what they wanted. This AA, the setup for being able to pick an IO and, like, protect their ALG, and all this healing, boosting this lone druid. Like, they did 20k building damage. They just ran at stuff, and they could go wherever they wanted.
I thought that the AA pick was just to protect the ALG. But no, as you said, that was actually setting up this whole concept, this whole idea. But anyway, we have a post-match interview, Tsunami. Who are you with?
I will be getting the opportunity to speak to Roger Berlin. Please make some noise for Roger from 9Pandas. Anything you'd like to say to the crowd right now, Roger?
Man, it feels good to stay in front of this crowd. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Now, I hear you're looking for a team, Roger. This is a pretty good platform to make a sales pitch. Top 3 finish at a major. What would you, all the teams, all the coaches, all the players that are watching right now, how would you like to pitch yourself to a future team?
Just pick me Chen and I beat everyone.
Pick 'em Chen! The boys will rally through. Even beyond playing with this crowd, what was it like finally being in a high-stakes competitive environment, going this far in a tournament again, especially side by side with Ramses?
Yes, I have an amazing team. We play really well. We adapt better than any team, but Liquid, it's, you know, rough team for us. So anyway, we enjoy the game. Thank you for support.
And if you did have to give Liquid some advice against Game and Gladiators in this grand final, anything come to mind?
Insania should play Chen and easy win.
I think we found the secret to success. Roger, a pleasure having you for this event. One more time, please, Berlin, for the 9Pandas and Roger. And now the man of the hour on the side of Team Liquid. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Zai joining me. Now I'm being led to believe that a lot of this tournament is being played for entertainment now that you're already locked for TI. What's the big deal? This is a rematch that you've been hoping for since Peru, I'm assuming. Are you going to take it more seriously this time?
Of course, I'll take it seriously. We always lose the gaming, and yeah, just hopefully it doesn't happen today.
Hopefully it doesn't happen today. Any words that you have for 9Pandas and the Dota that they brought today here at the lower bracket finals?
I mean, we got absolutely smashed the first game. I think it was, yeah, we got outplayed and outdrafted, and you know, creds to them. I think we adjusted well for game 2 and 3, but super good team, and I think if they had a full roster, kind of like us in Lima, I'm sure they would be even better. So yeah.
And in game 2 this draft, we had Blitz come by, and he said that you explicitly requested that you wanted to play Medusa. And was this a very devil may care attitude thing? Because I know even during Dream League, we were perusing your pro tracker, seeing that Medusa was kind of a thing for you. You even had the Crimson Witness for it. You finally got to play it. How did it feel?
I mean, I played it a bunch last patch, towards the end of the patch, because I was so bored of everything. I just started playing Deuce often, and it was not good. Like, it just wasn't good. But then all of a sudden, Deuce like changed, and all of a sudden it is viable. So I guess I had the prep kind of done already. So it's fun. It's fun here. Yeah.
And now one last time as you prepare for grand finals, is there anything that you'd like to say for the legions of fans here in the Velodrome Arena?
No, just appreciate all of you. The Let's Go Liquid chants are amazing, and hopefully we'll bring our A game, and hopefully you bring the energy as well for mid stage.
Thank you for the nice and kind words, Zai. Good luck on your grand finals. And now we got to get ready for it. Take your time, my friend, as we send it back to the panel.
Thank you, Neil. Some fantastic interviews there, I thought. Roger showing humor and grace in defeat, I thought, and then Zai, of course, on a high after that victory. That was a really good series. Even if the ending was kind of a stomp, I thought it was at least a fun stomp.
Yeah, I mean, for all of us, I guess, and for Liquid. I mean, 9Pandas are probably a bit sad about this loss. You want to at least like give it a fight, give it a big beating. You don't want to be like have enemies that you to force it for 12 minutes or something. But honestly, I think they can also, of course, be proud. I mean, it will settle in a bit. They're going to go back to their boost. They're going to be like a little bit beat down. They will be like, we want to be in this grand finals, you know, for the rest of the day. Yeah. But I think tomorrow they wake up and they just realize what they actually achieved today. They had a stand-in. They made it to the third place of this tournament. They should be proud of themselves for sure.
Absolutely. Peter, your thoughts?
Yeah, very decisive game 3. Very rarely do we see how such like a creative draft like hit this super early game timing. This was really fun to watch, and I think Liquid obviously proved themselves as the better team today. Are they going to have enough to take on Gaming Glads? I think that's a great storyline going into the finals here. If they have creative, cool, if they've got any more tricks up their sleeve, this is obviously the time to bust them out. I would love to see some more entertaining strategies from them with this last pick Witch Doctor and Lone Druid mid from Zai was awesome to see. They looked great.
Sheep, Game Gladiators obviously watching that series. How do they ban against Liquid now? Because when you show you've got some extra strats you can pull out, it does make it harder, doesn't it?
I don't think Gaming should panic or anything. The way that they've been drafting and playing, picking their heroes, it's very much just like so much comfort with like sprinkles of the current meta. So I think if they just stick to their guns and play good Dota, they should be fine, or at least, you know, they should make it incredibly competitive.
Have you guys all enjoyed the Berlin Major? I know this is my last panel. I think this is the last panel for you guys at the event here. Have you had a lot of fun, Stormer?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I came here only for paddling and enjoying my time here. I got the chance to paddle on all 3 days, and it's been actually always with you.
Yep.
It was a fun time.
Apologies for that, but yes, always with me.
Yeah, good team. No, it was huge fun. Absolutely love the crowd. I'm looking forward to just enjoying this last series. It's gonna be Western Europe against Western Europe again. Like, somehow it feels like this year, like, these 2 teams just clash against each other.
Yeah.
First Lima Major, then Dream League, Liquid against Gaimin. Now again, Liquid against Gaimin. If honestly, if Gaimin now again do this 2-0, 2-0, 2-0, 3-0 run, then I don't know. Like,
are you guys ready to beat them in the DPC?
We already prepared backstage.
Okay.